Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm Andy Ruther, coming to you live from the Smut Studio with my co-host, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
What's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm good.
I know you are, because you have a smile on your face. You have that aura about you that you only get when one man visits the studio. Yoshi's here.
Love Yoshi. Yoshi, welcome back.
Thanks, guys.
Yoshi, I feel like you do not have the normal energy that you have, because apparently you took 4 buses and a lift here.
Oh, my car's in Vegas last 2 months.
Why is your car in Vegas?
Because I was away.
You're like, I had to ditch it under some fake brush after running over somebody on the strip.
I'll talk about that too. But no, I was away for 2 months, so I can't afford to pay parking at the airport parking. So I decided to live it at my friend's place. So it's been there. So
wait, what?
Well, welcome back.
Well, what is it,
guy
like
meme.
60 days? What, $5-6 a day? Maybe.
Why couldn't you just drive it to L.A., dude?
What?
I'm confused. Why didn't you drive? Why is the car in Vegas? Why didn't you drive it?
Because I have a friend's. My friend's got a huge parking area, so I could just leave the car there for 60 days.
But how did you get from Vegas to Los Angeles?
No, I flew from Vegas to New York.
Okay.
And then you flew from New York back to L.A.
No, from there I went to Europe.
And then you flew from Europe back to L.A.
No, I went to like.
He's like,
I think I went to Washington.
He's like, no, then I went into the lab.
Washington, then Canada. I've been all over the fucking place.
You have. I've noticed that, dude. Yoshi's on tour.
Now, is it? Did I see a text message? Are you coming from Russell Peters' place?
Yeah, because
Can't he just helicopter you to the smut shack? Like, why?
Yeah, I mean, he's loaded. Like how big's his house, dude?
I was there for like a day and a half. I still didn't see him, and you know what's sad?
What, isn't his driver just standing around like waiting to take you somewhere then?
No, he's leaving Friday for the world tour. And,
Yeah.
I needed to see him for something, but I was there for a day and a half. I'm not kidding. As I'm getting picked up a Lyft driver, I saw him driving. I just missed him. So
he just lets you stay at his place?
Yeah, I mean, I've known him for 15 years.
Right.
Yeah, like kind of like a retarded family member. So
You are, or he is?
Yeah, no, I am.
Yeah.
But they trust me, like I mean.
Yeah, because you're not.
That's the only thing.
You're not going to steal anything. You'd have to take a bus out with a TV. Like, hey, I got a TV, and then you're like hitchhiking away with it.
So he's in Calabasas?
Yeah.
Well, that's not.
The problem was I would have been here like an hour and a half ago. The problem was every time I have to do transfer, these fucking homeless, handicapped, or old folks getting on the fucking bus. So
I'm not sure if you know, Yoshi. That's who rides the bus.
I know.
That's like.
I know that.
That means you don't know which one you are, obviously, but you're either homeless, handicapped, or elderly. You're one of them. Sounds like you're homeless.
I'm going to be one of those. But I factored that in. What was problem was each 3 transfer I had, each one of them I have to deal with one of them. So every time that happened, I miss another bus. That's why I'm an hour and a half. Well, I'm half an hour late, but I should have been.
We have 2 interns now. Next time you come, we're sending one of these guys to get you.
I'll have a car next time.
And I'm sure they would love to go to Russell Peters' place. You know what's crazy, though?
Yeah.
The amount of time it took you to get from his house to Venice is the same amount of time it would take you to drive your car from Vegas to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Just about. Yeah.
Well, I got to say, I like the effort. Matty Goldberg would be like, Jason's out of town. I can't make it. I'm like, well, you can take 11 buses like Yoshi.
You guys I have to say, you guys have a great fan base, and I don't want to waste your time. And I figured one of you probably have a show tonight, so I was worried that fuck up your schedule. So
Yeah.
I don't like that when somebody did that to me. So I don't feel good about it. But
So now you're gonna stab yourself in the stomach with a samurai sword. Right?
But these fucking homeless.
My family. Shame, dirty sports.
These fucking,
That's the process.
fucking homeless and handicapped and the fucking old people, like each time fuck up the schedule. So anyway, here I am.
Well, Yoshi, like Joe said, A for effort.
Yeah.
We couldn't be happier that you're here. And
A for atomic bomb. Okay, go ahead.
But before we get into all the sports stuff, we do need an update from the incident of you and the homeless guy, Mildred, because
The other homeless guy, not you.
yeah, you
The Venice homeless guy.
were contacted by a detective, I believe, LAPD.
I got a letter, and I'm not gonna lie with you. I panicked because
Because I hate getting mail. And
Yeah, and
Where do they send mail for you, by the way? Like
Randy Puga's
Yoshi,
place.
care of Russell Peters.
No, Randy Puga's place. I've been there. It's funny things. Joe's right. Randy Puga's bought a house in Atlanta, Georgia, and he's going to work on next 8 to 10 Marvel movies. So he's moving out. So I got to move out of his place now.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have a better deal than 4 years of no rent. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
He's been very good to me. Now from fucking July.
Sounds like you're moving to Atlanta.
I can't do Atlanta.
No.
It's too fucking hot, and there's nothing really interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
You can say it, Yoshi. Why don't you like
Yeah,
Atlanta?
I was gonna say, just say it.
You can say it.
Just say it.
Just say
Well, oh, I didn't even. I mean, I do admit I went to Martin Luther King's museum. I checked it out. I didn't know he's from Atlanta, so I went there. But
Yeah, you were
let's
texting.
be honest, like
Also-
it was
also-
great. It was great to visit, but I mean,
Also,
I wasn't sad like
Braves-
most black people.
Braves is a tough word for you to pronounce, right? Like,
What's what?
Braves.
Braves. So,
So,
yeah,
and-
that's a Sarah Tiana's team.
So let's get back to what's going on with the LAPD and the investigation. On
So I got a
Mildred.
letter, and of course I'm thinking like
Or the RAPD, as Yoshi refers to them.
LAPD. So
I'm always going to do this whenever Yoshi's here.
whenever I see formal letters, I'm thinking like it's probably I didn't even read it. I just could tell by the look of it. I thought, oh, it must be RRS or something. Of course, it's not
IRS.
IRS.
Okay.
And I open it and like, I'm just shocked. Like, how did he get my license plate number? I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, then you texted me.
Because I don't remember he writing my license plate number.
It might have been when you guys were Instagram storying it.
Well,
It might
Yoshi,
have been in that 20 minutes where
we
you're like,
did-
hey, homeless guy, will you pose?
Yeah.
We want to tag you at the
we
smut
didn't actually
accident.
see any police.
No.
So
I thought maybe
No, the
he.
guy went to the police, obviously.
But maybe
he
they,
left the scene.
Yeah, but he also got your license plate and went to the police with it.
No, the homeless guy did not get because he was so out of it.
I think that's what happened.
I think you were set up, to be honest.
I don't know how.
Set up.
Yeah, I think I'm serious. I think these homeless
Somebody's
people.
been listening to too much Rogan again.
No.
He's like, the Illuminati's out to get you.
No. I think these homeless people in Venice, they're shysters, for lack of a better term. And he goes around and he tries to get money. And I think he purposely put his bike on a trajectory for you to hit him.
A what? What was that word?
A trajectory for him to get
Trajectory.
trajectory, tomato. But so you met with LAPD? You actually went down somewhere?
They say I have to show up X date. So like, fuck. And we have to keep changing schedule because I think he was sick one day.
and the bus schedule
Yeah.
couldn't take you there.
No. I had to take my car so they could take pictures, right? So I finally showed up. I'm waiting at I think either Venice or Santa Monica Police Department. So I'm waiting, and eventually the guy was supposed to get an interview. He still didn't show up. So somebody else is interviewing me. So he said, tell me exactly what happened.
I just
Your
imagine-
side of the story. So I
just
told
imagine
him.
Yoshi doing his plugs at the end of the interview.
Yeah. And I had to mention you because did I have a witness? So I mentioned your name.
Wait, so
Oh.
wait a second.
I have to.
Don't worry, they're looking for an Andrew Luther somewhere.
Yeah. And Ruther. Yeah. So anyway, so afterwards, he was better matter of fact. Like that's his job. Like tell me exactly what happened and your side of the story. He wrote everything. I reread it, and maybe there was one thing was not clear. So I told him, and he fixed it. I signed it, everything. And he said, "Okay, now we have to go outside and check out your car and take a photograph of your car." He took the pictures, and I said, like, for I don't know. I just said, like, in case if I'm in the same situation in the future, what was I officially supposed to do? He said, because this is what I've been told. If you accidentally hit somebody's car, you have to leave a note saying, I'm sorry I hit your car.
Right.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, you're supposed to call your insurance company.
Sure.
Because the piece of paper might fall off or somebody might take it. And whoever owned that car that I hit could call cops and claim it was hit and run.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But, when that guy left, it's not like I could put a little slip on a fucking bike. He was already gone. So
Yeah, he left. He left
but the
scene.
cop said to protect yourself, you should still call the cops. I didn't know that.
And it would take 2 hours for them to get here. Fuck that. Fuck that
So
noise.
anyway, that's what I was supposed to do. So it's been 3 months, but I already know my luck. I know some
You're
people.
also like, just while I'm here, officer, what am I supposed to do if, per se, I kick my mother-in-law to death?
Yeah.
Like, do I call the cops? Does insurance have to get involved in that? Should I leave a note? Just leave a note on her limp body?
I wish I could ask that. But anyway, so that's happened, and I don't think it's. I haven't heard anything in like 3-4 months. But I already.
But what's the But this is what I'm confused. What's the investigation about? Like, what are they trying to question you for? What are possible?
The letter
charges?
basically say there might have been a traffic accident or crime, and we would like you to come to the police station and go through an interview. So I haven't heard anything. I haven't got a copy of what I said and signed. So I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't necessarily think the guy that I had this incident with, I don't necessarily think he even went to the police department. I don't know. I don't know what. I'm just waiting. But I already know that the moment I think everything's okay, they're going to contact me for something, Here's an interesting parallel thing. I got rear-ended last summer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I got rear-ended last summer, and I just got a phone call 2 weeks ago. I'm fucked now. That they pay me for the damage to the car,
Right.
but the insurance company is saying because the damage is so minimal, we're not going to pay for your physical therapy. So now the X-ray and the physical therapy, all those people, they're coming after me now because even my lawyers abandoned me, saying like this is not worth us pursuing. So like, I didn't know they could
So
do
you
that.
did all that not before you had a claim or something?
Yeah. I mean, they say it was their fault. They pay for the damage to the car, but now they said the damage to the car is so minimal that we don't believe it hurt you and you suffer any sort of pain and suffering. So now I'm sitting like, fuck. Now I even got a phone call from X-Ray. Now I'm gonna hear from the chiropractor people saying, "How are you gonna pay us?" It's like, I guess,
Well,
I guess you're not gonna collect anything.
It sounds like you just need a better lawyer. Because there are guys who will do that regardless of whether you're hurt or not. You can just say, "I am hurt." They'll pursue it for you.
I talked to a couple of my friends and like they kind of agreed like it's not worth most lawyers to even.
Dude, I saw a guy who got rear-ended. I was on a jury,
Yeah.
and I got off. I got out of the jury because I was like, I'll never, ever give this guy money. The guy who was the lawyer ends up they asked what I did. I said comedy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm never gonna pay this guy. I got a back injury playing baseball. The lawyer hits me up way after I get excused. He's like, I have a men's league baseball team. Do you want to play? I love comedy. I want to come get your shows. Just so you know, I got that guy $8 million for a rear ending. So you just need a fucking shyster lawyer that wants to get you some money.
Yeah. So now what my lawyer should.
I'll give you my guy's name.
My lawyer, my lawyer's basically going to take that insurance company to small claim score. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. Like, it's not like believe me, I had my debts and people are after me right after I got fired from my work. Believe me, I hang around with black people. Bill collectors do not scare me.
Right.
I always tell them like, listen, faggot, unless you come to my house
Yeah.
and threaten me or punch me in the face, you ain't getting shit.
Yeah,
So
it's
call
funny.
me all the fucking time, stupid bitch.
It's funny. It's funny that you say that though. I did learn the same thing from my black friend that was sleeping on my couch forever.
Yeah.
The same thing. He'd be like, dude, I was in some bad credit card debt, and he just laughed. He's like,
Yeah.
dude, fuck them.
Yeah.
There ain't shit they can do.
Well,
Yeah.
credit card debt is different. Credit card debt, if you just don't pay a credit card for 7 years, it'll disappear.
Yeah.
It just disappears off your. And
I don't have a
eventually,
school
and
loan
eventually
to-
your credit will come
Yeah.
back. But
So they're gonna
if
come
you want to
after
have
me.
good credit, you can't just like ignore
Yeah.
everything.
So are you doing any lab stuff lately?
I have a checkup in 1 week, and then I have another one, and next month I got to look for another one.
Okay.
So,
But you've been traveling everywhere.
but that's the thing. Like I was flying for 1 day, go in, I had to fly back to another gig. So that's what I've been doing last couple of months. So, yeah, it's been fucking rough because of this medical bills and fucking. I don't know what's going on. Last 6 months, all my fucking bits are going to the toilet. Fucking.
Oh, you should be playing my NBA bets. I fucking destroyed game 2s.
Oh man,
The zigzag theory works again. It's the only time I bet the whole year.
I hate that fucking you Darvish. He fucked me over with.
I mean, why are you Why are you
Russell.
still
why
betting on you,
why are
Darvish?
you messing with you?
Here's the thing. I
don't fuck
I
with
put the
you.
money before the season started, so I didn't know he was going to be part of that. And of course, I put money before the Super
What
Bowl.
did you put money on? Oh,
Dodgers before the season started
right.
last year, and I put money on Patriots before the season started. But I knew right away that fucking game when it started reminded your team. You know, the Giants had 9 minutes and 59 seconds of possession in the first quarter, and I'm like, I knew Patriots were fucked. And I see Eagles doing the 6.5 minutes, and like, goddamn, same fucking shit, you know. So that was like $6,000 right there that I would have won. And,
So NBA is not. What about the playoffs? The playoffs aren't treating you well.
well, I mean, I would have won $800 if it was the fucking Houston.
you
fucking
should have
over.
listened to the last episode. I said the Jazz are gonna bounce back. I said the fucking who else bounced back? The Heat were gonna bounce back.
Yeah.
Didn't I say that? And the Cavs were gonna bounce back.
I only
said
bet on
all
the,
that. The zigzag theory in the NBA playoffs is undefeated.
But the Cavs didn't cover.
Well, but they were. What was the spread on that game?
I think it was 6.
Okay. No, right, you're right. Because the whole time I was watching, I was like, "Oh, I got it," and then in the end, they somehow fucking.
I only
pulled
bet on the
through.
first game parlay, so maybe I'll try it back Friday. But so that's why I'm at with all the money switchers. I'm literally figuring out to make a little bit of money each week to survive, but it's not going to stop me from traveling. But yeah, it's been a lot of hit and misses, man, because they love me in Canada.
Hit and run misses.
I don't run the misses. Yes, Canadian shows were great.
Who are you? Are you opening for anybody, or are you just going on the road with other people?
Other people, but the Canada was with Jason Rouse, and it was a dirty show, and the Canadians loved me. A couple of your fans were there one night in Vancouver, Canada, and so that was great.
Where
Fuck-
was that? Where was that?
Yuck
in Vancouver?
Yucks.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, I went
You
really.
need to go back up, dude. Go back on the road with Russell Peters. Will he take you back out? I mean, he's letting you stay at his house.
I did about 9-10 cities domestically, but I introduced Jake Johansson with him, and now Jake's opening from overseas,
Ah,
and he's doing 10, 12, 14,000 arenas.
wow.
So
Those are some big arenas.
I mean, it's lots. That's some serious fucking
What's
money.
what's the biggest crowd you've performed for?
55 or 6,000?
Was that with Russell?
Yeah, for sure.
So
What do
that's
you get paid for a gig like that?
I think he paid me like 500 or maybe 1,000, depends on.
No way. Are you serious?
What?
He gave you $500 to perform for 55,000 people?
5,500 people.
5,500.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Still though.
Still, even then, but that's a little bit more reasonable. I thought he was doing a fucking. I thought
Oh,
you did
no.
the Rose Bowl with them. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude,
And you got to remember,
you got like 11 cents a head.
well, you got to remember, it's between 7 to 10 minutes too. You know.
Right.
And
Oh, he has a bunch of people go up before him. or-
I would have done it for free anyway for something like that too.
Right.
So, and he also paid for your hotel and a first class flight and everything. So
What about hookers? Does he include hookers in that?
he wouldn't do that. But
No. What's the hooker scene like? Let's get into that real quick.
in Canada,
Yeah.
man,
Sure.
it's very, very sad. it really makes me.
It's very, very
It makes
sad.
it's legal there. No, anyone who lives in Vancouver, Canada, knows this. There is this parallel road, Richard Street and Seymour.
See Les Street is what I call it, right? Not enough hookers. Anyway.
10,
Even weird Twitter didn't laugh at that one.
10, 12 years ago, you're talking about probably the best-looking hookers in the whole North America. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Where, in Vancouver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what they do?
I mean, they're really expensive. You know, you're talking $500 more, but
Okay. So you're saying they've gone. This has changed now. You know how you see
because the areas have been gentrified and
It's inflation.
all the
Fucking
fucking
Obama.
Chinese people moving with all their millions just clean up downtown. So they're all kind of online. You know what I mean? So like, I used to drive around with a couple other black comedians, drive around the Seymour.
A couple
and
other black comedians.
Right.
No, you're not a black comedian, right, Yoshi?
Well, no, with other black comedians. I've been to jail, and I didn't have a father around, so I'm kind of black right there. So anyway, so I mean, I don't. One thing I don't like about
And you're
going with the
living on a
black
more
comedians, when they
successful
get pulled over by
guy's
cops, like, of course, I'd rather get pulled over with you guys than the black comedians, of
Yeah.
course. But other than that, they were telling me like all the tricks with pimps and hookers and stuff. So that was really entertaining. But yeah, I miss those days when you drive Richer and Seymour and see best looking hookers ever. Only other place I've seen the women that look like that for street hookers is Orange Strasse in Berlin. That's it. Those are the only two places with that level of those quality
Dude,
hookers.
I think we've said this before.
Yeah.
You need. I know we've said this on the show,
Yeah.
Prano. Yoshi needs. Remember Dave Attell's old Insomniac?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He needs his own Insomniac.
Just like what's the dude who's fucking Anthony Bourdain?
yeah,
but for hookers.
And I think that's what we said. Like
Yeah.
you need to go. What is it? Vice? I don't know who would pick this up.
Yeah.
Where you go to countries all over the world and rate the hookers and talk about them. Like, dude, we need this to happen.
I'm not going to rape hookers. That's like shoplifting. I'm not going to do that.
Raped, not rape.
Oh, raped. I thought you said raped. Oh, maybe that's what I want to hear. Anyway,
Jesus, Yoshi. You want to talk some sports though, buddy?
yeah, but the hookers, I hate. No, but one last thing. I really hate these guys that cover the prostitution business, and they was like, but I never get hookers. Then why are you reporting on that
Yeah.
shit? I hate that. Fucking beat it, you know.
Yeah.
Before we
Well,
get
it's a lot like sports.
Yeah.
You know? It's like
Yeah,
John
like-
Clayton. John Clayton's never fucking. He hasn't been within 200 yards of a football field.
and before we get into the sports, Prano, I think
Yes.
we should talk about how good you look with your
Thank
flag
you.
and
I
anthem
do
gear.
look good. This is my Flag and Anthem shirt. I got a Flag and Anthem jeans on. This is actually a Flag and Anthem T-shirt on underneath. I'm fully.
It's one of the.
They really got to start
your
making
sponsors?
underwear
Yeah.
because
They're an
Very
amazing.
nice.
They're an amazing sponsor. My sister-in-law, I sent her my flag and anthem gear for this month, and she texted me today. This is exactly what she texted me. She goes, "This is such high quality clothes. It's so soft." She's like, "We need to get my brother on it." I said, "Yeah, just go to flagandanthem.com." I told her if you drop promo code DIRTY, you get 25% off that order. 25%
Fantastic.
off.
That's a
I
hell
hope
of a good
dirtballs
deal.
are using it because, I'm a clothes whore. I've said that many times. I take much pride in my wardrobe, and it's taken over. Like
Yeah.
I love Flag and Anthem shit.
Yeah,
I love it.
me too. My whole closet, flag and anthem.
I will buy them, but all my clothes I get from Russell Peters once you get tired of it. All this is from him.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he got tired of it. I think he stopped wearing it because the knees wore out.
So go to flagandanthem.com and drop promo code DIRTY to get 25% off your first order. Okay, let's get to the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Is that Rockets game final?
It is.
What was the final score?
102-82.
Yes, sir.
Fucking piece of shit.
The Rockets are clicking. They're up 2-0. In one of the few series where I think we can kind of see where this is headed. The other series, man, it's just as we expected. It's kind of up in the air. The Cavs tonight, LeBron, did you watch the start of that game?
I did not watch.
Holy shit.
I didn't watch it live, but I ended up watching it. Yeah.
So I watched the entire game. LeBron comes out. I believe he scored their first 13
16.
points. 16, okay.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
When LeBron does that, you know the movie Man on Fire, Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
That's what I think. Like, you're not stopping him. And I agree. I think Prano said this, and I tweeted this. Angry LeBron is greater than angry Tom Brady.
By the way, Man on Fire, that's my grandfather in Hiroshima.
Jesus, Yoshi. Too soon. Too soon.
Too soon. That was 60 years ago.
I mean, the silver lining, though, for me on this game, LeBron puts up 46, and they win by 3.
And not just 46. 46 on, like, what do you shoot, 70%?
Is that right?
Yeah. I think he was like 19 for 24 or 17 for 24.
He was 17 of 24. And he actually shot free throws well.
Yeah.
10 of
He was
13.
10 of 13.
Has he ever been injured and then miss a game? Do you guys ever remember that?
He has been injured and missed a game, but not in a long time. He missed like
That's unbelievable.
He missed like 15 games at one point. But here's the stat that came up on ESPN after the game. Most postseason games with 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists.
God damn.
LeBron James 10, Shaq 4, Michael Jordan 4.
Any blocks?
Tonight?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's,
I'm sure he had one.
No blocks.
No
tonight.
blocks. Poor LeBron.
Yeah.
Come on, LeBron. What are you doing? He
But-
doesn't play defense.
Yeah. 5 assists, 2 steals. I mean, he put the whole game together. Although Love got hurt too. I don't know what that. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know what that is going to happen with that.
You know, this game and then the Rockets game, it just shows you the difference in the quality of teams. James Harden was 1 for 12 in the first half, and they were up 15 at the break.
wow.
James Harden did not play well.
Yeah.
He's, going to win the MVP, and he didn't just play well. He played a game that if the Rockets lose a game like that, it's like, this is a choke. Like, he played horribly, and they won by 20 points. LeBron James plays incredibly, and they win by 3. That's the difference between LeBron James and every single other player in the NBA. If Kevin Durant had LeBron James' game tonight, people will be losing their goddamn minds. If James Harden had the game tonight, people are losing it. If Victor Oladipo, like anybody has that.
Yeah.
And for LeBron James, it's like, oh, LeBron James did LeBron James things. And then tomorrow, if he scores 31 and has 12 and 12 and they lose, then he's a piece of shit. It's like,
And that's easily a game that the Cavs could have lost, though, too. I mean, Victor Oladipo, he picked up 2 fouls within the first minute.
Yeah.
In the first minute. So he's got to sit a lot of that half. And, God, dude, I haven't seen him play enough until, be honest, this series. He is so fucking quick, man.
yeah,
God, he's quick.
he's great.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's crazy that this is his 3rd team.
Dude, this is going to be a 7-game series, I think. Let's
No.
not. You
No.
don't make, the Pacers took 3 or 4 from them in the regular season.
Yeah, I still don't think it's a 7-game series.
You think it's a 6-game series, Cavs?
Yeah.
What about the OKC Jazz, man, series?
Who won?
Utah won 102-95, so they stole one on the road in Oklahoma.
Can we talk about the last minute? Do you guys watch that? The end of that game? Carmelo Anthony.
I'll be honest, I was grilling steak.
I mean, Carmelo Anthony just bricking multiple 3-point shots to completely ice the game for Utah. Garbage person, garbage player.
On OKC, when it comes down to that crunch time point of the game,
Paul George.
okay, you already answered it, yeah.
Yeah. Who do you want taking the shot? Paul George.
You want Paul George.
Yeah.
Not Carmelo.
Well,
And not
fine.
Russell Westbrook.
Certainly not Carmelo. I would go Paul George because of his range, just his pure 3-point shooting ability. I mean, it depends what you need in that situation. Like, Russ can always get a basket,
Yeah.
but I don't like Russ. Like, the Russ, like, going toward the basket way too fast, pull up 3 is not a good shot in that situation.
It's reckless.
I'll take Paul George, then I'll take Russ, then I'll take Steven Adams. I'll take anybody but Carmelo Anthony.
What's going on with him? Is it injury or old age?
Who?
Carmelo.
He's a fucking selfish garbage basketball player who is for his whole career has been an incredible catch and shoot player, but refuses to be a catch and shoot player and instead has to be a dribble, like loud dribbles kind of player before taking a terrible off balance shot with a hand in his face.
Well, we have an interesting stat. Trevor's not mic'd up right now, so I'll read it. Paul George, he just sent me this, is an NBA worst 0 for 15 on potential go-ahead shots in the final 20 seconds of games since he entered the league.
Wow.
So Paul George might not be the guy you want taking that shot either.
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand that stat. It's 0 for 15, but I'm talking about in terms of the talent of the player. Like, I've seen Paul George in the Cavs series a couple years ago make huge threes to keep them in the game where he was dueling with LeBron James. Now, in the end, they didn't win that, but it's like he was still taking 30-foot threes and making them and going back and forth just to keep them in that game.
Where does that series go? Do we think that's a 7-game series now? Because now they're headed back to Utah, which I think Utah is a good home court advantage for those guys.
They have amazing defense too.
Yeah, and I
you
think
know.
they do have a home court advantage because of the elevation. People have talked about that more and more recently about how hard it is to play there. I do think that's a 7-game series.
Who do you like in that?
I like Utah.
You like Utah, okay.
Don't fuck with the Mormons.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough for me to pick a team in the NBA playoffs. I think it's who has the single best player on the floor. I start there, and I mean, I just don't think that guy is on Utah as much as I like Gobert, as much as I like Donovan Mitchell, and I don't think they have the second best guy. I think they have a better team, like all around. I think they have better
Utah?
coaching. Yeah, Utah, but like talent wise, and really that is the issue with Oklahoma City is like how do you why aren't they better? But talent wise, it's
night and day.
Yeah, it's tough for me.
I mean,
to pick
Rubio had a
against
good game this game.
I think Donovan Mitchell. I mean, he's still a rookie.
Yeah.
Like they need Donovan Mitchell to be the guy right now, and I think it's a little early to expect that from him.
I don't know if I've shared this on air, but I know some insiders who are familiar with the Quin Snyder situation.
Yeah.
About how he, the whole situation, how he left when he.
You have to talk about it.
Yeah. So Quin Snyder, if you guys don't know.
Snyder.
Is it Schneider or Snyder?
Snyder.
Snyder?
Yeah.
I always say Schneider.
He's not the fucking he's not the super from One Day at a Time.
So Quin Snyder.
Exactly 11 people listen to the show will get that
Yeah.
reference.
Apparently was a big cocaine addict at Mizzou. Like that was his problem. That I have some friends who
I mean, doesn't he look?
That's
like
what
a
I'm saying.
cocaine addict?
He looks like it. So apparently he was a cokehead, and he was just like banging sorority girls left and right on Mizzou's.
You're the coach of Mizzou
In Columbia, Missouri.
In Columbia, Missouri.
2
you have
hours
that
away from
hair.
yeah.
You got nothing to do.
But
Just-
cocaine and sorority girls.
Yeah.
So apparently that was the thing. Because he's a smart guy. Dude, he got a law degree. Like he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Where'd
I
he go?
mean,
Where'd he go? Duke?
When you're doing a lot of cocaine and fucking underage girls, you should probably have a law degree. That's gonna help you. That's gonna help you in the long run.
But Prato's right.
He's like Matt Damon in fucking Good Will Hunting. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He's like, Your Honor, there's precedent in this case.
You know who Quin Snyder always reminds me of?
What does he look like?
He reminds me of the guy.
You don't know who Quin Snyder is? Will you pull up a picture of Quin Snyder? Ruben?
Yeah. He reminds me of the guy on the opening of Dark Knight.
What?
You know the opening is like you don't know who you're fucking with
Oh.
in the
Yeah.
bank.
Yeah.
What's that actor's
William
name?
Fincher?
What is it?
Fincher, one of them.
You've seen Quin Snyder. Quin Snyder. I always do it. Come on, doesn't this guy look like he's been doing coke all night and
Oh.
fucking sorority girls?
Yeah, he does.
Look, he just got off a bender right there. I think his nose is bleeding. I mean, look at this guy.
Oh yeah.
He for sure looks like he dabbles in coke and sorority chick. But he's a pretty good coach, I think. I assume, right?
No, he is. You don't wash out of college for that and then get an NBA job.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
If you're not a good coach. And for the Jazz, they're like, so what happened in Missouri? Just kidding. We don't give a fuck. We're the Jazz.
Salt Lake City would probably be the worst city for hookers
Yeah.
ever.
He's like,
right?
well, I was fucking 14-year-olds. They're like, just marry all of them and we don't give a shit.
Interesting you say that because I was there 4 months ago. I did a little historical
In Utah.
Utah. You know
Salt
the
Lake-
main
Salt
Mormon
Lake
church.
City.
Yeah, Salt Lake City. Russell was performing there. The main Mormon church, only a half a block away, was a major red light district years ago.
Yeah.
And the Mormon eventually got rid of it. But that was like they're right next to the brothels.
They had a red light district in Salt Lake City.
Absolutely, of course.
You need to do a monument for that, Yoshi. Let's create that.
I mean, and what's weird is like even with all those.
That's when there were really magic underpants. You know what I mean?
It's weird. Even with all this incest in Utah, the girls are good looking.
They
Salt
are
Lake.
good looking.
I don't understand that.
They're weird though, dude.
They have very good sense of humor, actually.
You know what? I've actually banged a fair amount of Mormons. The more I think about it, they've all been good looking.
They're very good looking. I don't get it.
Yeah. Prano, you gonna chime in on this?
No,
No.
I don't. I have no experience with the Mormons.
Okay. Well, let's move on then. Let's talk
By
about.
the way, a lot of porn girls that retire sneak into Salt Lake City
Why is that?
because even the Mormon people
Sneak in.
recognize, even the Mormon recognize you. They don't want to say I saw in porno because you're not supposed to look at it.
Yeah.
So a lot of them could restart their lives in Salt Lake City. It's weird. It's just like Bin Laden hiding that city in Pakistan.
It's just like Bin Laden. Yeah,
Yes.
again, Yoshi, this is why you need your own show. These are some great tidbits. These are some great facts and knowledge. Okay, let's
I was gonna say it's like witness protection for porn stars.
Look up a porn girl named Mary Jane. She went Salt Lake City. She's beautiful, but yeah, she's back in. That's what I heard last. She was in the porn business like 7-8 years ago. Anyway, go
Yoshi investigates. Let's talk about yesterday's games. The Raptors, dude. I was talking to Trevor about this before the show. Dare I say, what if the Raptors made the finals? Because I just feel.
Well, you have more Raptors hate than I do. Like, you hate the Raptors.
Well, I just like shitting on the fans.
Yeah. I mean, what if they make the finals? I mean, they're gonna lose, but that'll be like fun. It'll be like when the Sixers made the finals with Iverson, or like when the Nets made it. You know,
Sure.
everybody's gonna go like,
With
oh,
Jason Kidd.
remember
yeah.
that time the Raptors made the finals?
Yeah.
Like, that's what we'll be saying. But I don't want to. I'm not a Raptors hater.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they're. I don't think that they're good enough. Again, I look at it in terms of like best player on the court,
Right.
and I think they have a good draw right now. But if they make the finals, they're not going to win. But the Raptors right now, are we going a little crazy because they're playing the Wizards? Like they've beaten down the Wizards.
That's a
Like
good point.
every year, like the Wizards get embarrassed in the playoffs by somebody.
I think if they make it to Eastern Conference Finals and Cavs are there, I think they could beat the Cavs. I think they're the biggest problem for
Well,
Cavs.
they would
I
play
think.
the Cavs next round.
Oh,
Right.
is that right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be rough. For
No, it
Kenley.
will be rough for the Cavs because they have a good team. They're way deeper.
Yeah.
They've played together longer. They have a better coach. Like, absolutely. But then it's basically what it is LeBron James versus Toronto. Like, versus the coach, the roster, the
Drake.
fans, for everything. Yeah, everything. It's just LeBron James versus. It's LeBron James versus Indiana right now.
Yeah.
And it'll be LeBron James versus whoever makes it, and the Sixers, and it'll be LeBron James versus the Warriors or the Rockets, and then eventually he's gonna lose, and it's gonna be like, fucking douche, what a choker. You
Yeah.
know, like, but absolutely, they have you don't end up first in the conference
Yeah.
without having a great team.
All around great team.
Yeah.
Well, the Celtics surprised me yesterday. I thought that was a game that Milwaukee would steal, and dude,
They have a great coach, probably the best coach in the league, perhaps.
well, I mean, some would argue Popovich and all his rings, but I'll tell you what, man, the Celtics
But
look
there was
good.
a time when Popovich was a young coach.
True.
Didn't have any rings. So
Well, regardless, the Celtics look great.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown's playing. I mean, he looked great yesterday. The whole team, dude. I'm impressed how they're playing. Like, I thought this would be a series that I would have probably picked Milwaukee to win, but now they're up 2. And granted, Milwaukee could take the next 2 at home, but
they could, but
I think
Nope.
they're just too inexperienced.
they're
and,
too inexperienced,
yeah.
and they are based entirely around one guy who has to play out of his mind,
yeah,
who still hasn't found his perimeter shot. He hasn't taken that leap as a player. He's an incredible player and will be, an all-world player in the next few years. But it's still early. He still
Yeah.
hasn't found his shot. And when you're going up against a coach like Brad Stevens, all Brad Stevens has to focus on is not letting him dominate the game to the point where they win.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
You're absolutely right.
It's even like, okay, we can let him get 35,
Yeah.
but we can't let him get 35 and a bunch of assists. We can't let him dominate us on the defensive end. We have to make him work really hard on the defensive end
Yeah.
so that he has less energy on the offensive end. There's so much strategy that goes to attacking a player like that, and I think Brad Stevens is a good enough coach where he goes, that's what
Yeah.
I'm going to do.
It's not quite the same thing, but I remember years, Jordan has such a difficult time beating Pistons,
Yeah.
know, and they just focus on Jordan, and this is something Milwaukee have to learn. But man, they got some talent with that kid. I don't say his name right, Giannis, or how do you Giannis?
Yeah,
Giannis.
Giannis. You actually
Man,
did say it great.
Boy, he was amazing.
But you know who's been a bust for them is Bledsoe. As far as the pickup,
I mean, I don't know if he's been a bust.
but he's not doing what they need him to do.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure you're following all this and all,
Yeah.
and how he's reacting about Rozier and all this. I was also very impressed with.
They changed their coach in the middle. Like, I just think they're
Sure.
not there yet. And I think much of that team may or may not be there. The coach, the
Yeah.
rest of the guys around Giannis. But it's going to be him and Middleton. And, they have players that are set up for
Yeah.
the future, but it's about building a team around him.
Sure.
It's still early.
Yes.
A guy like LeBron James, and I know, like, everybody wants me to stop sucking LeBron James' dick, but it's like you have to – when you're comparing a guy who could be the next LeBron James, who do you want me to talk about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
LeBron James was a guy who, when he was super young and went up against a Celtics team with a good-ish coach and a great roster, they were like, what the fuck just happened? He just scored 25 points and took over the game. Not every player can do that at – how old is Giannis? Like fucking 22 or whatever?
23, whatever.
Yeah, 20,
It's
some
really young.
absurdly young age. Like, you can't expect him – just because he had a great season, you can't 23. You can't expect a guy who's 23 to be able to take on that and just go, I'm going to elevate to the complete next level.
Well, and let's look at his box score from yesterday. 30 points, 13 of 17 from the field, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and they still lose by 14.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like, what else can he do?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
an amazing stat line.
Yeah, of course it is. But again, we're talking about like it's a great comparison to the LeBron where he scored 25 points in a quarter. Do you know what I mean? That's what they need him to do
Against
and
the Pistons.
It's
Yeah.
completely unfair. But what they need him to do is be 50 and 12 and 8 and 5 blocks. Like, they need him to do that, and he's just not ready to do that yet.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have. No one should ever have to do that.
Yeah.
But LeBron James had to do that today, and they won by 3.
Well, I was very impressed by the way the Heat bounced back in the second game. And Dwayne Wade,
Yeah.
man,
Jesus Christ, he's 10 years younger in this series.
like, where did it come from? I mean, he looked great. And that's a huge win because, like Prano keeps saying, I think it's a great point. The longer these series go, it just affects the next series.
Yeah.
So if the Sixers take that game and they're up 2-0 and, they close out that series and them winning that series in 5 versus this going to 6 or 7
Yeah.
completely changes them in the future.
And just even Embiid on Instagram fucking trolling his own team. It's like, yeah, like Dwayne Wade was like, fuck you guys. It's 1-1. Now we're going back to Miami. And you got your star on your bench. Like, it's almost a power play by Wade if Embiid does play.
I really didn't pay attention to the Philly team for a while, and I only saw the first game, but that kid, Ben Simmons, he's something else, man.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
He's fantastic.
He's something else.
I went down a Simmons Wikipedia rabbit hole the other day, and obviously I knew he's from Australia.
Yeah.
But I would love to know how him grow. Like, he legitimately grew up playing rugby, playing, Aussie rules football.
Mm-hmm.
How that's affected his game. He just seems so cool and composed. He's never flustered.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be a major star.
Yeah.
He's LeBron James light as far as I mean, he doesn't have the jump shot, of course, and LeBron didn't either.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you say he's LeBron light as far as
Absolutely.
his build,
His
his
build,
game,
yeah.
pass first mentality?
Absolutely. He does. He needs to work on his jump shot a lot. He needs to get to the point. Like, LeBron wasn't the outside shooter he is now, but he wasn't a doesn't take a jump shot ever guy.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to how good Simmons is too. He's at times dominating NBA games without making 8-footers. He's not
Yeah.
making 8-footers, let alone 18-footers or
Well,
25-footers.
I thought Charles Barkley said something great the other day on TNT. He was saying, look, dude, the first game, I want to say Ben Simmons had 17 assists. He goes, the way you beat them, you force Ben Simmons to score.
Mhm.
Like, you don't force – he's like, you're not going to beat them. If Ben Simmons has 17 assists, you're not going to beat them.
And it's exactly what I said about Rondo.
Yeah, you force him to score. If Ben Simmons has 25 points, he's saying Miami probably wins that game.
Yeah. Well, we don't know
Sure.
because he doesn't ever do it, and no one ever forces him to score. But it's certainly a strategy. It's certainly worth trying.
Well, he had 24 points
right.
the next game.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a strategy to go, like, let's see what happens if we just give him shots.
Yeah.
You know?
But let's be honest, Philly's going to win the series.
I agree,
I think they will too.
but I think
It might be 6 or 7 games.
But I think that the Heat, with Wade, with Spoelstra, like it's a matter of just them.
They have experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
putting up a fight. A lot of the East is going to be a bloodbath. It really
Yeah.
comes down to some of these series are going to come down to who beat up on who more in the series
Sure.
before.
And we got to talk about the Pelicans. Holy shit. I mean, they're to me, they're without a doubt the story, in my opinion,
Yeah,
of the playoffs so far.
and that's a great example of a team that.
Is this Davis's first time in playoffs?
Yes.
Is it his first
it?
time in the playoffs?
Second?
Yeah, it's
Second?
his
Okay.
first time he's won a playoff game.
Correct.
Great example of a team who has a guy. They ask the guy to do a lot. Sometimes they ask the guy to do too much. He steps it up. He does too much at times, and they still win. But then they have players around him who can also, Drew Holiday had 33.
33.
Drew Holiday had the game-sealing block in Game 1.
Where's
Rondo
this coming
is-
from?
Drew Holiday's always been a fucking really talented guy
Sure.
who's had a hard time finding where he fits in. He's sort of one of those hot and cold guys too, where he has games like this in him. And now with an Anthony Davis, it's like when everybody focuses on that guy, like if everybody goes, hey, let's all stop LeBron, let's all stop Ben Simmons, let's all stop whoever, can another guy step up? And when you talk about like the Cavs, it's like, why doesn't Kevin Love score 30 every time people try to shut down LeBron? Drew Holiday's like, yo, Anthony Davis fucked you guys up in Game 1. He just lob dunking on everybody. All you're going to do is try to stop Anthony Davis from getting lob dunks? I'm going to score 30 points.
Yeah.
Rondo's playing great. Do you think that's one of those things? You see this in sports, and I always find this fascinating. When a star goes down, such as, or Boogie Cousins, when he goes down,
The team get better.
Yeah.
I know that's crazy to say because we all know how good DeMarcus Cousins is.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, Brandon? You see it in sports, like where you're like, holy shit. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles, where their star quarterback goes down.
Yeah. I mean, the Eagles were playing fantastic. Like,
Sure.
they didn't get better when he went down,
And by the way,
know?
I'm not saying that the Pelicans, at any rate, are
But-
better.
But the Pelicans are better.
But
They've been better.
they've been yeah.
statistically better. Their record's been better.
I think this is known as Bill Simmons' Ewing theory.
Yeah, which is a offensive theory to me, and I'll
That's
tell
why
you
you're a
why.
Knicks fan.
But and it is. Bill Simmons refers to it as the Ewing theory, and it's the reason I don't want Jeff Van Gundy to be the head coach of the New York Knicks. The reason the Knicks were better when Ewing went down is because they had Sprewell, they had Allen Houston,
Yeah.
they had Marcus Camby, and they were still playing the same style of basketball when Ewing was in there as they were playing 6 years before when they had Derek Harper, Charles Oakley, John Starks, and Patrick Ewing, because Jeff Van Gundy was a assistant coach on
Sure.
Pat Riley's team, and everything ran through Patrick Ewing. Now Patrick Ewing is at the end of his career, and he's still a top 5 center in the league, but he doesn't belong having the whole offense run through him. So when he was out, they just go, well, we have to go through Sprewell, which they should have been doing the whole time anyway.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really on Ewing. It was on bad coaching. But I'll say this. Sometimes, especially with like this Pelicans team, when you have Davis and Cousins, there's a lot happening in the middle of your offense. And when
Sometimes they're kind of overlapping.
yeah, they're certainly overlapping style players. They're both big men who,
Yeah.
with perimeter shots. Boogie's always been a guy who needs the ball, wants the ball.
Sure.
Davis is certainly the guy that you want to get the ball.
Yeah.
And it just becomes, sort of a logjam there. And it's hard not to want to have both of those guys. But at the same time, you're like, Anthony Davis is in the process of making the leap.
Yes.
And I don't need anybody that's saying, like, oh, I know he's making the leap, but, like, I need my 15 shots. I'm like, dude, I'm all in on this guy fucking
Yeah.
making the leap.
So then where does that – I mean, I know that it's a ways away because the rehab – that's a long rehab. Where does that leave them for the future then? Do they want Boogie back?
Well, it's also a matter of who wants Boogie.
Sure.
And there's
Is he free this coming summer, or is he free agent?
I don't know.
Because let's play this out. Let's
Yeah.
play this out right here. Let's say the Pelicans win this series, right? That's a what? That's a 3-6, I believe. Right, Prano?
Yeah.
So let's say they win the series. They would then face Golden State in the second round, who we haven't talked about. But there's nothing really to say. Golden State,
Yeah.
they're walking all over the Spurs. Golden State's going to beat them in the second round.
Yeah,
Agreed?
but that could be a fight now.
You think?
Yeah. That could be a fight. And I'll tell you, and for a couple reasons. One, this is a guy that Anthony Davis is a style of player that you can start getting into, like, let's trade twos. You know what I mean? Like, let's go down low to him, where it's high percentage shots.
Yeah.
Usually 3, always greater than 2, right? I'm not saying do I give the Pelicans a chance to beat the Warriors? Probably not.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of game where – and also, don't forget, Alvin Gentry, who is the coach of the Pelicans, was a Steve Kerr assistant in Golden State, was a Mike D'Antoni assistant with the Suns. Like, Alvin Gentry knows exactly what Golden State is doing, and because we all remember Alvin Gentry fucking stealing the microphone after the first championship and being like, don't forget to thank Mike D'Antoni for this. This is his offense. And then, like, walked out and fucking went and took another head coaching job. So, do I think that they could beat him? No, but do I think they could fucking, even if
There's no pressure on them
yeah,
either.
and even
you
a
know?
5-game
That's
series,
a good point. They're playing with house money.
like a difficult 5-game series, is that can still put some wear on your tires.
Yeah.
It's almost like Giannis kind of look what New Orleans doing. Like, he could have a similar career path within a year or two when they go back to playoff, hopefully. You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
Anthony
okay.
Davis, he's like, he is the star.
Absolutely.
And, and
It's fun, dude.
Anthony Davis, I mean, I think he's a great leader because they could have just made excuse like we lost Boogie, so, fuck the season, but they didn't.
That's what I'm saying. And it's
I
fun
think that
watching.
it's fun.
I think it's fun watching him progress.
And the team got better when the owner died. What's his name for
Yeah.
New Orleans.
yes.
The guy didn't he also own the Saints?
Yeah.
There was so much problem because his daughter and the guy's wife, they were fighting over the team. There's all this crazy
Okay.
backstory, almost
Yeah.
like WWE going on over there. He was losing his mind, and he was having this like heavy sugar diet or something.
Yeah.
So maybe with his death, stability is back in the franchise.
You know what I love about Yoshi? This is what I love about Yoshi. Yoshi's like, oh, I have no clue what team like a star would be on, but he knows the diet of the
Yeah.
former owner of the Pelicans.
To go back to your question, what you were saying about Boogie, it's like, where does this leave them? Situations like this always remind me of Linsanity. And I said it when Linsanity.
Are you saying that because I'm here?
Yeah. You always remind me of Linsanity,
Yes.
Yoshi. I always said about
Linsanity was you running over a homeless guy and
Yeah.
driving off into the sunset.
when Linsanity was happening, I was always saying about the Knicks, I go, it's not going to happen. But like when they were 3, 4, 5 games in, and Linsanity had taken hold, I was like, this
chink is all right.
Yeah. I said this could change the team. Like if somehow this guy can manage to like go undefeated
Yeah.
until Carmelo gets back.
How many did they win under Linsanity? 18?
I don't remember. No, they didn't win 18 straight games, but they won.
He did something we haven't seen in a long time in New York City, which is excitement to that team.
But also,
Remember how many Asians were showing up to Madison
Oh, yeah.
Square?
But also, it was
which is amazing because they're spending all day making basketball in sweatshop. Did I tell you the time I got into the NFL draft and I was number 10,000 whatever? They only take the first 6,000, 7,000.
Oh,
And
to go see the NFL draft?
Yeah, when the year that Andrew Luck was picked first, and I remember the head security guy who was walking around with Roger Goodell, and he kept the promise about 2 weeks before that I'll get you in, and he took me from the 10,001 to number 10, and everybody's yelling like, how come he get the cut? And he told everyone this is Jeremy Lin's older brother. So like that's the only reason I got in. That's the only reason I get in. And like, oh, this motherfucker. But like, start taking pictures with everyone because
That's
like, they're huge
amazing.
Knicks. Yeah. So
because they want pictures with Jeremy Lin's brother.
older brother. Yes.
So you went to the NFL draft?
Yeah, that's the only time Andrew Luck was picked first, and what's his name for DC? I met
RG3.
Yeah, I met him too. He was very nice, but like even before I met him at the Tonight Show, and then I just thought, man, he just looks like my height.
Yeah.
How the hell he's gonna get a hit in NFL?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wasn't a believer. He was a nice guy, and he got hit, and I feel bad for him. But
I'm trying to find this timeline. So,
I mean, I think they won what
but I'm trying to see like a 20 game. Like they had
in
lost
a row.
They had
No,
lost.
but the Linsanity where he was scoring like 30 points a game was like 4 games. Yeah, but they won a bunch of games in a row. I think they won like 7 or 8 games in a row.
and let's be honest,
And then they also went like between that and Carmelo Anthony coming back, they won like all but 2 of their games. And my point was, if this guy Linsanity is one thing, but Carmelo's going to come back and ruin it.
right?
And then I said, but wait, if this kid can somehow go undefeated, like how does he come back and not like defer and not play? And then I was like, oh, I know how he does, because he's Carmelo fucking Anthony, and he
Yeah.
doesn't give a shit if this guy scores 50 points a game for 3 weeks straight, which is the question with Boogie. Is like if Boogie's watching this and going like, oh, if I just come back and fit in and just be a piece on Anthony Davis's team, like we actually could win a championship.
That's
and
not
then,
going to happen.
But he's Boogie Cousins.
That's not
right?
going to happen.
He's
no
just
way.
like Carmelo Anthony. He's Boogie Cousins.
Well,
Carmelo's not going to let some chink run the team. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
I don't know how many they won. They won the first 7 games
Right.
in a row.
Yeah.
When he started, and he was averaging in the first 6 games 26.8, which brings the bigger question.
That is
about,
amazing. That's,
and I'm saying, which brings the bigger question about Jeremy Lin. I mean, this is for sure a 30 in the making. How does this happen? How does he play so well?
Well, we all know the answer to that question, right?
You're going to say your boy D'Antoni?
It is. It's 100%.
Because everywhere else he's gone,
He did not have Mike D'Antoni.
he's just
I think you're right.
Of course,
I concur.
Mike D'Antoni will turn
you what, Yoshi?
Concur.
Okay.
Mike D'Antoni will turn a smart point guard that understands what he's trying to do
Yeah.
into a completely different player. I mean, Linsanity is one thing, and Steve Nash is incredibly skilled.
Yeah.
But, like, we all agree that Steve Nash was never going to be a fucking, an MVP until Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah. He did it 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was great with, Dallas, but he wasn't Steve Nash. He
Yeah.
was like, oh, the floppy-haired, like, Canadian guy who's, like, pretty good with Dirk because, like, they got a thing. And they were, like, boys, but, like, he does this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Duhon had 20 assists in a game. Chris Duhon. You guys remember Chris Duhon, right?
Yeah, former Duke player.
Chris fucking Duhon.
Yeah.
And now James Harden is, like, the best offensive player in the NBA.
Well, none of that shit matters if he fucking choked in the playoffs, right?
Right.
Let's be honest.
You're
here.
right.
And,
Absolutely.
He might get MVP, but let's be honest. It's guys. You're right. Guys like LeBron. And I still think he's going to go to the final.
Who's that? LeBron?
Cavaliers. Yeah. I think he'll just force his will on whoever he's playing, and he's going to make it happen. I don't think he could beat. Well, unless something really weird happened in Western Conference where they get complacent and get beaten by, I don't know, Houston or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the
It's
thing.
not that predictable.
Playoffs for the
Yeah.
first time in a few years.
Tonight, when you watch LeBron, that was fun for me. Normally, we're all busy doing shit. I don't normally get the game from tip off. For me to watch that and watch that live, and to be focusing like I wasn't on my phone or fucking computer. For me to just watch the first 3 minutes of that game where he is just willing himself, and not just, it wasn't all just drives to the basket. LeBron was hitting threes. He was hitting pull-up jumpers. To watch that, you have to fucking appreciate that.
LeBron James is an incredibly smart basketball player. I think of all the basketball players I've ever watched, I don't want to say he's the smartest basketball player I've ever seen, because I think there's a lot of guys like a John Stockton who aren't as physically gifted and only can achieve what they do because of how smart they are. But LeBron James is the combination of being a freak athlete and
he's very intelligent.
being intelligent and having that sixth sense about basketball. I think LeBron James, the way first, like Tyronn Lue said, we need LeBron James to come out hot tonight. Was that hot enough for you, Tyronn Lue? Can you fucking learn to coach a goddamn basketball team? But I think part of LeBron James game one and part of how smart LeBron James is And again, he had a 24-point triple-double in Game 1. But I think he knows he can't come out and score. It's not sustainable to say I'm going to score 50 points every night and win an NBA championship. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable. So at some point, he has to come out and say, look, I'm going to be LeBron James. I'm going to have a 25-point triple-double. I'm going to pass the ball. I'm going to rebound the ball. I'm going to step up my defense in the playoffs. I'm going to score, but you guys have to carry the load a little bit because that's the only way this is actually going to work in the long term. And they fucking let him down in Game 1. And so in Game 2, he's like, I'm going to do it myself. And now we go to a Game 3. He's like, okay, we're back to even. I had to do a LeBron James thing to get us to even. And now, guys, in Game 3, I'm going to give you another fucking chance. You got to make some shots. This isn't sustainable for 4 rounds of the NBA playoffs for me to just carry the entire fucking city of Cleveland on my back. Kevin Love, wake the fuck up.
In situations like that, I'd like guys like Jordan and Larry Bird because he personally threatened his teammates, and maybe this is something that he needs to do. Literally, I mean, his teammate have to fear him more than the team that they're playing against, you know. So, it's entertaining. It wasn't good for me for the fucking bidding purpose, but
Sorry, Yoshi. Well, Yoshi, I got some good news for you.
By the way, I was shocked that Kawhi Leonard murdered Popovich's wife.
Oh,
Jesus.
Like
I kid. That was the biggest surprise of all.
Shoot, Yoshi.
Woo!
That's a bigger bomb than
That's
fucking
a Yoshi.
Hiroshima, bro.
Whoa, thank you.
Well, Yoshi, I got good news for you. You can
Uh-huh.
save some money
Right.
if you use our promo code SeatGeek to go to any games or any concerts. I know you're a guy who likes to go to a ton of different live events. What we're gonna do is
Is he?
yeah. Well, Joe and I have talked about going down to Orange County to see Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, I would love to do that.
Yeah, and we're gonna get our tickets on SeatGeek.
Yep.
We can see exactly where we're gonna sit. That's what I love about it. We'll go down to Angel Stadium.
When they were playing Mariners and when the Mariners were shit and Angels were shit, what I used to do is buy the cheapest ticket. And when I see a group of rich Japanese people walking into, I just walk behind them and get the nice seats.
Yeah.
Because they would never stop us because we don't speak English. But I can't fucking do that because Ichiro's back and Otani's on the Angels game. So
And also
they're going to
they'd-
check the tickets
And
for
also,
sure.
they'd stop you because Ruther will be wearing like a Harambe mask. So
yeah,
they'd be like,
yeah. Exactly. Well, Dirtballs, you guys can join us too, or go to any of your live events. We got some great tweets recently. I saw we had one. A Dirtball used promo code DIRTY to attend tonight's Rockets T-Wolves game down in Houston.
Nice.
I saw some NHL tweets. So Dirtballs, take advantage of this great offer we have now with SeatGeek.
Is it only for sports or
No, it's for everything.
Sports, concerts,
Broadway shows?
Broadway,
shows,
you name
monster truck rallies,
it. Yeah. It's all there, Yoshi. All our listeners get $20.
ice dancing events,
Yeah. $20
highlight.
hit and run derbies. All our
Oh.
listeners get $20 off their first SeatGeek purchase. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter our promo code DIRTY today. That's promo code DIRTY for $20 off your first
We're going to
SeatGeek
use promo
purchase.
code DIRTY on this Friday, 420, to go to the Dodgers-Nats game, right?
That's right. We are going to use it.
What's going on with Nationals? They're struggling, aren't they?
Yeah. They're
What the fuck?
fucking, they're cucks.
You used it there, didn't you?
Yeah.
They're cucks, huh?
Yeah.
Are you excited about Ohtani? You got to be excited. We're excited. Now, we want to do this thing called Cultural Appropriation Day.
You know, I thought when he was coming to Major League Baseball, I thought he was going to go either Yankees or hopefully for Mariners. And the rumor I heard that he went to Angels because I hope it's not true, but it pisses me off. He's supposed to like Disney. So, like,
totally.
Have you been to dude, have you ever been there?
God,
Asians love that shit, bro.
I haven't been there since 1988. I hate that shit.
I forgot Yoshi's like 70.
Yeah. I just picture Shohei Ohtani at Disney every day taking pictures over and over and over again of the same shit.
Yeah.
He's incredible, though.
He's
I mean,
incredible.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure that many of the baseball fantasy players are just losing their mind because what is he? Is he a pitcher or hitter or
Yeah.
He's
how much
position
points?
fluid.
He's transfluid. Or he's not transfluid. He's position fluid. Are you following? Yoshi's not picking up on this. Okay. Yoshi, we want to do cultural appropriation.
All right.
Do you know what that means? Do you know the term cultural appropriation?
When you guys rip off black people?
Well,
or Asians in
or
this
Asians.
case.
in this case, I want to wear, I have my my headband.
Right.
I want to wear a kimono. We want to go to an Asian restaurant. We want to go.
He's gonna wear a kimono with a Komodo dragon on his shoulder.
Yes. We want you
And
to
we're gonna
join
go
us.
to all you can eat sushi.
What do you think? Down
and
in Orange
then we're
County.
gonna go to watch Shohei Ohtani pitch, and then we're gonna do the
I'll
strip
go.
club, and we're only gonna get Asian lap dances.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Will you join us?
What's the date?
Well, we don't
And
have
we're
a
gonna
set
stay
date.
out all night and then get dim
I mean,
sum in the
if
morning.
I'm in town, I will go with you guys, of course.
Okay, because we need an Asian with us, because then we just look racist. If you come with us, we don't look near
the
that
whole
I'll-
idea
I'll
is
have my
very, very
swastika on
racist.
my
So we're
hat.
not gonna just look racist. We're
Yeah.
gonna be racist.
Yeah, the whole idea is extremely
but
racist.
you're gonna be
yes.
there.
Yeah.
To cut that.
Yeah, you're gonna cut some of that tension.
Cut that with a little Asian. You
but
know
you
what
don't
I mean?
like Asian girls.
What do you mean? I don't like. What do I like?
What do you like, Yoshi?
It's weird because if it's Asian girls, I kind of probably prefer Japanese girls. Not
Japanese?
not Asian Americans.
Cheeseburger.
Ah, you mean like from Tokyo?
Because when you hit them, they don't report on you.
Jesus.
They know better.
Yoshi, this is the Me Too movement. What are you doing?
I'm joking.
I know you are. Okay, let's talk about these games overseas. Not even overseas, just out of America. I like this. I want more of these.
Wait, what games are going? What are we talking about? Are we talking
Baseball.
about the games in Puerto Rico still?
Yeah,
Yeah. Overseas.
you know, out of the country.
First of all, we covered this literally last episode. It is not out of the country.
I don't think we
It
covered
is-
this last episode.
Yeah, we did.
I don't.
We covered that you didn't know what kind of fucking money Puerto Rico uses, and we told you that Puerto Rico is the United States of America.
Wait, we covered games not played in the States?
No, we covered Puerto Rico specifically because our new intern, Benny the Jet, Weird Twitter,
I don't know
is
if it's
Puerto Rican.
I don't know if it's good playing Puerto Rico. I mean, you have to play baseball in complete darkness.
I do know that. That's true.
You know.
They forgot about Puerto Rico. Have you been to Puerto Rico?
Yes, years ago, San Jose, San Juan. Sorry,
San
not
Juan.
San Jose, San Juan.
Yeah,
Beautiful place.
yeah.
I've been there.
What's the hooker scene like in Puerto Rico? Did you get any hookers?
No, but they were pretty aggressive at a couple of the hotels we were there. It was my friend's like bachelor party, but they're really super Christian, and I couldn't do it.
Yoshi's friends
Wait,
with
super
Christians.
Christian hookers?
No,
Or
no, no. My
Oh,
friend
bad
was
surprise.
super
I was like,
Christian
super
and-
Christian. How do super Christian hookers get paid? Do they put out a little basket? It's another one that no one.
I got it. I
We
got it.
have way
Prana.
too many people in here for that
Yeah,
not to get one
yeah.
single laugh.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Can we talk about? Can we talk about him?
But
Go ahead.
I think you're right. There's need to be more games overseas because I think many of the teams and they're making money from baseball, but the fan base are getting older and older. This is just a reality with baseball.
Well, not only that.
So they need new fans overseas.
Yeah,
you know.
it's 162 games a year. You know, if the NFL can do that many fucking games in London and they play a 16-game schedule, I think this is great to do more games in Asia.
But
It-
you're not considering the fact that between football games there's a week off.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
between baseball
Travel.
That's why they've always done, when they play the Japanese series or whatever, it'll be like
The first week.
it'll be like a week before the series starts, the season starts.
Right.
Two teams will go over there. They'll play a 3-game set. Then they'll have 3 days or 4 days off to travel, come
Right.
back, and then get reacclimated to the season.
But why not just do then like a 3-game homestand in Tokyo?
They need to do Asia.
Because then think about how long the travel is back from Tokyo.
But I think
You have a day off and then come back and play you're going to play 2 days later?
But from the East Coast, if they go to Europe, for
Sure.
the most of the East Coast teams, it's about 7-hour flight.
Yeah, absolutely. But now we're talking about like going to London or something like that.
They really
no one gives a fuck in England
Well,
about
you know,
baseball.
only-
Baseball's literally like spitting in their face. Like we came here and we fucking started literally just this game, and we're gonna but now we're coming back and we're gonna eat apple pie and we're gonna shit on your flag.
I think only one country in Europe that is have some love for baseball is Netherlands.
Yeah, Netherlands.
The Dutch play
And
baseball.
Ireland aren't bad. Like they should go to Ireland. Go to fucking
Ireland,
Netherlands.
Netherlands. And in Asia, they should consider places like Australia and New Zealand as well, and Japan, of
Yeah.
course. But what I don't understand that they should be more aggressive with China because it's the biggest market.
Yeah.
They fucking use chopsticks. How much more difficult is it to try to hit the fucking, you know what I mean? Like, NBA is just dominating China. Absolutely, it's the number one sports.
I mean, I think what could be a nice play is it.
I'm so
you know,
racist. Anyway,
yeah.
go ahead.
I
What could
love
be a
it.
nice
It's
play
hilarious.
if they wanted to go worldly would be to have like a Class A ball like league. Like there's a Pacific Northwest, there's a New York Penn League. Is like have a Chinese league,
Right.
and have guys that are definitely not getting called up to the big leagues. If a guy moves from A to Double A, it's like fine, he can take a day off and fly from China back to fucking Vegas or whatever. But have A ball in China.
Yeah.
Have a fucking short A season.
And I don't understand why we don't have teams playing in Israel, and because those fucking Palestinians are always throwing rocks at Jews. Like they looks like a pretty good at throwing. And come on, let's be honest. They seem to have a pretty good arms. You know what I mean? And wasn't David a Jew? Of course, he beat Goliath with sling, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So there's a
slingshot.
slingshot. So there's a lot of that shit. So
Yoshi's
That's-
getting biblical on us.
Yeah.
yeah. So we there's a lot of talented
You're right.
people
You're right,
everywhere.
Yoshi. The fictional character from the guy in the clouds fucking book about the slingshot against the giant.
All right, the Palestinians,
definitely
they're good
took
at
place
throwing
in
rocks.
Israel.
Yeah. Hey, don't ever question Yoshi. Everything he says makes sense. But we got to talk about Kenley Jansen for a second.
Sure.
Because I also
Trevor got a mic?
I also find it interesting when because you see this all the time, Prano.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You see it all the time when closers just lose it for multiple games.
But
or
I thought he got
or a
hurt
season.
during the preseason. I thought spring training. I thought he got hurt.
No,
No?
he didn't.
He
just
didn't?
he blew one save
Mm-hmm.
all of last year. He's already blown 2 this year, and that doesn't include
But
other
who
bad
could keep
outings.
that kind of record? Don't you think that was an anomaly for?
No, I agree, but he's been pretty consistent.
Hmm.
I was looking at his numbers where, he'll blow 5 or 6 games saves a year. I mean, he's way ahead of that pace though.
Yeah, but
But my question to you as a baseball guy, as a manager,
yeah.
he's had a pretty horrific start.
Yep.
15 games in? Do you say, dude?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
You with a closer, it's a mentality. So
Okay.
you have to ride with him until you're out,
Gotcha.
and then you're out. But if you start going like, hey, maybe you start pitching the 8th, and this guy, like now you're going like, so here's the deal. Your role is big swinging fucking dick on this team, but we're
Yeah.
not sure you're the big swinging. Like that's it. You're
Yeah.
already in this guy's head. It's already over. You may as well fucking shut it down. Closers, and look, I hate saying this because fucking I hate the Yankees, but guys like Mariano Rivera are once in a lifetime.
Sure.
Guys like John Franco, who was like a lefty and did it for a super long time. Lee Smith, who did it for a super long time.
Dennis Eckersley.
Yeah, Dennis Eckersley. Those are guys. Look at a guy like Smoltz, who's obviously a starter, become a reliever. It's really difficult to be that. Think of all of the big names closers that have come and gone.
Yeah.
Like in a matter of 3 years, like Billy Wagner's the fucking shit, and then you're like,
Yeah.
well, that was a fun 3 years of baseball.
Yoshi can't get out. He's trapped by our lights.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But like Billy Wagner is the fucking shit, or Eric Gagne is the shit, or Brian Wilson. Remember how Brian Wilson
He's
was
back, by the way.
Brian Wilson was a fucking superstar. By the
Isn't
way,
Is
the,
Brian Wil-
the Beach Boys Brian Wilson will be back before
Is
the
Brian
fucking
Wilson
Giants.
not back?
No.
Oh.
He threw out an opening pitch.
I saw him trending. I was like, Brian Wilson's pitching?
But
Okay.
do you remember when Brian Wilson was like dressed up as a Yeti going to the ESPYs, and then 16 months later was out of baseball and not talked about
I
it?
think he was
anymore?
homeless on Mildred.
Yeah, but that's just what closers. That's just what happens with closers. You can only throw so hard
I
for
gotcha.
so long.
There's a lifespan. There's a ceiling.
Absolutely, and I think part of it is the mentality, and part of it is your stuff, and part of it is overuse. How often can you ask a guy to come out every single night and fucking deal? And it's why guys who have certain pitches, Mariano Rivera's cutter, John Franco's sinker, it's why guys like that can excel, whereas guys who are just relying on, I'm going to come throw fucking gas, don't achieve it at the
They
same
don't
level.
last.
No, Mariano was not Brian Wilson. Mariano was not Aroldis Chapman. Mariano was not Billy Wagner. Mariano was like, I throw 95, but that shit is moving in on your hands, and I am breaking motherfucking bats.
Yeah.
John Franco was like, I'm going to get ground balls. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's tough. Do I think Jansen's done? No, but you got to factor in how much he fucking pitched
There's
last
a shelf
year.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. That makes total sense. It sucks though, because you see it all the time. You just see you're watching.
Who was the dude on the fucking? Remember the guy who was on the Phillies? Who's it?
Oh.
Brad Lidge.
Yeah.
Like I can't even remember his name. There was a time where Brad Lidge is dominant.
But that's my point. Is you're watching. That's why it's kind of depressing. You watch these closers. You watch their demise, basically their end of their career, right before your eyes.
Yeah.
Where you don't see, you can on a lot of athletes, you can see their slow decline. But on this, you know what I'm saying?
So you don't think it's a physical thing?
I think it's
physical and mental.
yeah.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's physical, mental. Guys seeing them a lot, overuse. I don't think it's necessarily physical in terms of like, oh, he's breaking down. It's
Okay.
just like overuse, and there's a shelf life.
Yeah.
I mean, remember fucking Armando Benitez? Like, think about all the closers we can go through that, like, for a while were just king shit and then nothing.
Gagne won a Cy Young.
Yeah.
Gagne won a Cy Young. That's some crazy shit to think
I
about.
mean, I'm picturing guys that you're like, what happened to them?
Yeah.
Is Axelrod and his fucking mustache, like, are they in baseball anymore?
Todd Worrell.
Yeah.
By the way, Todd Worrell spoke to my English class in college.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I took a sports literature class,
What?
and he came to speak.
Wait. What is that? Sports literature. What is that?
Well, it was a great class. We just read books that were sports books, and he'd want us to. A lot of it was like social commentary. So our first paper had to be on the Super Bowl and how the Super Bowl was like a microcosm of America. Everything from the gluttonous halftime show to the food to the binging. You know, it's like a psychological reflection of the society.
Slaves on the field.
Yeah, I didn't write that. In the
White
paper.
owners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wrote a big paper about the Bengals owner at the time. But you know what I remember is Worrell came to our class to speak, and it got so because when I'm in class, like there's 20 kids in my class, and I think he won, or was like a 2 or 3 time All-Star. Like he had a decent career.
Yeah, for
Wow.
sure.
And it ended up just being him shitting on McGuire, which got really weird. And obviously, I'm in school in St. Louis. And I remember him just ragging on McGuire. He's like, these guys are all on the juice. He was one of those guys. They're all on the juice. He's like, I saw Mark recently. He must have not updated his clothes. He's like, because his neckline on the shirt was about 5 sizes off when he was on the juice, and now he's off it. And it just turned into this weird, just roasting how McGuire was on the juice. And I was like,
But he
"That's-
was right, though.
Yeah.
He was right.
Yeah.
Which is how it affected baseball and how
Yeah.
he hated it and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah. It's good to be. I'm so glad we're out of that era because I have such a baseball hard on again.
Well, in that era like that, it just made not only players, it just made fans angry. It just made everybody angry.
Right. And I didn't necessarily have a problem. Like it was super exciting. It was great,
Yeah.
but just like the way the entire way it was handled, where everybody's pretending
Sure.
it's not happening, but it is happening, and then like some guys don't want to do it, and some guys do, and like
Yeah.
how that's just like straight up unfair to people who don't want to fuck up their body for the rest of their lives, but are more talented than other people. It's like fucked up.
I watched
That's why Bud Selig, he's the one person alive I hope gets cancer and AIDS simultaneously. And then they're like, because you can probably beat both of those things at this point with modern medicine, but simultaneously hard to beat.
Yeah.
Simultaneously,
I still don't
that's
understand
tough.
why was he allowed to be commissioner in his own team at the same time. I don't understand that.
Well, he sold the Brewers,
Yeah.
right?
But he didn't sell the Brewers when he was commissioner. He was owner and commissioner.
Yeah, I don't.
His like daughter was running the team.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
And how shitty a like baseball person is Bud Selig? The Brewers sucked that whole time. Your owner's the commissioner, and you still fucking suck.
Yeah. You know who I want to do a show with again is the Miller brothers. Because I saw
Speaking of Miller Park,
Yeah.
we should do
But I saw Omar Miller.
Who's that?
He's an actor. He's done a bunch of stuff. He's in
He's the
Ballers.
big guy on Ballers.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I met him.
Yeah, he's a great dude. So we did a crossover with them a couple years ago, and I got to hit him up to try to do another
Is he
crossover.
still on? Does he still have that podcast? And
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. So I was watching a clip from his podcast, and he was going off on A-Rod, talking about steroids, and I was a little surprised. But Omar's, because he was saying I can't listen. He was saying he can't listen to A-Rod doing
Because of
Sunday Night
steroids.
Baseball. But not because Omar's
But he's
saying
so good though.
Yeah, but hold
Yeah.
on. That's not what Omar's saying, and I don't know if there's something that I missed or we missed. He's saying that they're saying fucking A-Rod was on juice the entire time. Like, they don't know when it started, and that's his argument of being like, do we really know how good A-Rod is? Because his argument on the quick minute that I saw on Instagram, he was saying we did know how good Bonds was.
Yeah.
We did know how good these guys were. He's like, I'm telling you, A-Rod might have been on the juice from the minors through that. Like, we don't fucking know.
Right. But in A-Rod's defense, and I don't like A-Rod nor care for A-Rod. He was a Yankee. He's the whole steroids thing. But A-Rod was LeBron James. A-Rod was on the
Yes.
cover of magazines in high school. I know where A-Rod went to high school. I know what his high school uniforms looked like. Like, we
Yeah.
knew that A-Rod could play.
Sure.
Did we know that A-Rod could be this? Like, yes, he had the potential. Now, there's a lot of living up to that potential. The thing with steroids, you still have to hit the fucking ball. You still have to hit the ball.
Yeah.
And I always thought he was more talented than Jeter, but Jeter had other intangible qualities to him.
Yeah.
You know.
And he also was more talented than Jeter and his stats piss on Jeter's.
Yes.
Jeter would drown in A-Rod's stats. Like, the Jeter thing is, I mean, even bringing them up in the same sentence is disrespectful to just baseball players and mathematics, statistics in general.
You know what I think we need to add to the Smut Shack to honor A-Rod? We need a centaur with Prano's face. I'm serious. We need a centaur with Prano's
The
face.
super hairy centaur chest.
Yes. To add it to the
The
wall.
salt and pepper centaur chest there.
I want your beard like you have now.
I love it. I'll also take a picture of me in front of a mirror almost kissing myself.
Yes. Let's do it. Well, let's get to some
Also, fuck Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go all in on this.
Cameron Diaz.
But he's-
And I've already
he's-
started juicing.
He's,
and Madonna when she's 60.
Yeah.
but he is so good at, as an analyst.
I agree.
I'm really
Yeah.
was surprised.
He's
I mean,
phenomenal.
And you see some bit of a personality that's coming out, you know.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think he was naturally very talented player. I remember he was
Naturally talented, obviously understands the game, obviously studied the game, obviously worked hard. Who knows if he would have hit 700 home runs or 600 home runs or whatever he did without the juice. It's really
and he
neither
was
here nor
shocked when
there.
he found out that Derek Jeter did not have a MLB package at home because he didn't watch at all. A-Rod is a great student of the game, you know,
Yeah.
and he's extremely talented because I know Mariners prevent him from signing with a college. They literally stopped him before
Yeah.
he was ready to play. I don't know if 2-year college or 4-year, but you know, and then when he was playing for Mariners, I remember years ago watching him play. Like, couldn't believe how naturally talented and how lucky we were to have him and Junior playing in the same fucking team for that.
Yeah.
You know,
And Edgar and Buhner and
yeah, that's
You guys had a
Cora
squad.
and
What'd you win, 115
Randy
games?
Johnson and
something like that. But we choked when the Yankees came to town and just beat them. You know, and
Were you suicidal?
I knew we were in trouble because when we were watching the game, I went to one of the playoffs game, and there was 3
well, you guys beat the Yankees in
95.
95.
In the old Kingdom.
Yeah.
They were down, and you talk about Mariano. There was a few, like handful of hitters that he just could not conquer, and Edgar Martinez was one of the guys. I think he hit a 3-run home run or grand slam or something against them. And
Tino was on that team too.
Yeah, they, were,
Tino,
that's right.
Edgar,
And
Buhner,
the following year, he
Griffey,
joined the Yankees.
A-Rod, fuck,
they had offensive firepower.
Cora. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
nuts.
That was the closest. I mean,
Jamie Moyer.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson. I mean, that team was fucking stacked.
Jamie
Wilson
Moyer.
was their catcher, right? Like,
He was 82 years old.
they
when
were
he was
stacked
pitching for
from
Mariners.
fucking start top to bottom. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's a very sad situation for Seattle fans. They
know.
just
And I loved Pinella, man.
yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
I loved him on the Reds. I loved him on the Mariners.
And when he got really fucking angry with I mean, I loved it. I just love watching
Me too.
But just like a closer, you know, you can only throw bases for so long. Then you just fall off eventually. You go from throwing them to being like, fuck, I'm just going to kick dirt on him. It's like, no, man, you got to throw him.
We got to talk a little NFL, and then we'll get to Ask Yoshi. Not much going on. I wanted to bring up the James Harrison thing real quick. He retired. Hall of Famer, yay or nay, fellas?
I don't know I don't know his statistics, nor do I even know.
Let me pull up his stat line.
But even I don't even know that in the NFL that you can. I wouldn't even know if you told me his career sacks. I wouldn't know where that ranks him.
He seemed like a border. So
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. Not a Hall of Famer. Just doesn't seem like a standout guy. Did it for a long time. Did it at a super high level. Had to play in the Super Bowl. Was the anchor of that defense. But
what does he have? A 2 Super Bowl championship? Or 1?
No, he's got to have more, right? Because he was with. I
think he has 2.
Yeah.
Let me try. I'll try to pull up his stats. But I also think. Oh, I know for sure he's got a Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
I think that's huge.
Yeah. It's better than Jeter, that's for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I'm biased because he won it against Seahawks. So.
But if you're the best in your position,
for a year,
like that's gonna carry some serious weight. Obviously, what he did, the 99-yard interception return.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Against,
but I'm just saying
whether he deserves it or not. Do you think he'll get it anyway?
I don't know.
So he's a 2-time Super Bowl champ. You're right. I don't know where he would sit sacks, 84.5, 34 forced fumbles, 8 interceptions, 5-time Pro Bowler. He was only a 2-time first-team All-Pro, Defensive Player of the Year.
I think if you would have won the last Super Bowl, I think he probably would get it. With 3, you kind of have to say.
Pushes him over?
Yeah.
Wasn't the MVP of either of those Super Bowls, right?
No.
Not even that Arizona one.
I believe Santonio Holmes was that one.
That's right.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
I'm gonna say no. I honestly don't have a super strong opinion on it either way, but this doesn't seem like when you think about all the guys in the recent years, even on his own team, right? Palomalu is gonna be a Hall of Famer.
You think so?
Yeah, but
Palomalu deserves it,
right? But I'm saying to me, when you think of that defense, he stands out as it seems like he'll be a Hall of Famer, but I don't know.
Trevor just sent me a stat. He's 52 all time in sacks. So that's nothing impressive. I
wonder what.
Unless you're the one getting sacked.
Yeah, I wonder how many of the top 52 are in the Hall of Fame, but not all of them.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I want to bring up the Monday Night Football thing,
which is what
ESPN still does not have a Monday Night Football crew. Obviously, season's a ways away, but Favre audition this week.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to go to the bathroom too. I know Yoshi's a giant football guy. We're 2 hours into the episode, so Yoshi's got this.
We're an hour and a half. I love how nobody ever has a gauge of the time frame. So Yoshi, I know you're a big football guy. So Brett Favre auditioned, and apparently it was a disaster. So he is not gonna make the cut. Peyton Manning also doesn't want to do it. So right now they don't have anybody. They're looking at possibly. I'm looking right here.
Do you think they're afraid to think outside of the box because they had? Dennis Miller didn't bother me, but
Dennis Miller wasn't the color commentary.
I see.
That's what I'm talking about here. So they're looking for the color commentary guy, and obviously Gruden did it. Before Gruden was what? Ron Jaworski.
Yeah.
I thought Gruden was great. I don't
know what's Tony Romo's contract, but man, he is so good. I would love to see him Monday Night Football.
He couldn't do it. So they're looking right now at Rex Ryan.
Ooh.
No, but he was terrible last year. He did one game last year. He did one game last year, and it was without a doubt one of the worst color commentary for any football game I've ever seen. It was awkward. There was a lot of silence. And look, I know it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. Calling a game live. But Rex,
do you think somebody from college games, perhaps?
Well, this is who they like.
Okay.
They like Jason Witten and Greg Olson, who are still on NFL teams.
That's amazing.
This is a problem here. Rex Ryan, yeah.
So is that who it's down? Well, that can't be who it's down to, right?
Well, this is the New York Post, and it's saying
This is from the National Enquirer.
Yeah.
But don't you think when people see guys like Tony Romo doing and how great he is?
Yeah, here's who they have real
Mhm.
quick. And this is who I do want. They have Kurt Warner, Matt Hasselbeck, Louis Riddick, and possibly Joe Thomas, who just retired.
Who do you want?
I love Warner. We
Yeah.
got to see him firsthand when,
Yeah,
when we went to the NFL Network.
I think Warner's great.
He's an MVP. He's won a Super Bowl. He's
Yeah.
polished. You can tell he studies his game film. I love Warner. He's got studio experience.
I think Riddick's pretty good as well.
Riddick's good.
Yeah.
I think Riddick's good too. But I think you need a former coach or player.
So if you get at Warner, let's say you
Are we
get
talking about the same guy? Is Riddick the former GM from the Giants?
not from the Giants.
Who am I talking about?
It's Louis Riddick, right?
Yeah.
Or
Louis Riddick.
yeah. I think he might be a former player as well, right? No, that's a different Riddick.
that Riddick is a running back, right? Was
That's
it?
Yeah.
Theo Riddick.
That's
Yeah,
Theo Riddick.
Yeah. But different Riddick.
It's Riddick from the Vin Diesel movies. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I know you.
The Chronicles of Riddick?
I was, you beat me to it.
Okay, gotcha. I like Warner, though, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Peyton Manning. And they said Peyton Manning would have for sure gotten Gruden's money, which was $6.5 million a season.
And Peyton turned it down. Is that what I missed?
I think Peyton didn't want it.
I think Payne's got bigger things to work.
I
He
think-
probably want to buy a team or something.
I think Peyton does too. You know, he sold all his Papa.
Got Papa John's money. And,
He sold it all.
and his wife owns Grizzlies, right?
Budweiser money, and
Grizzlies. What's Grizzlies?
Um,
Shopping? Is that a grocery chain?
no, Memphis Grizzlies.
His wife has some money in that.
I believe so.
Peyton Manning.
His wife.
So Peyton Manning.
Yeah. It's like,
Something to do with the owner, players not having team or something, but she ended up having a chunk of that team, or
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Because it's Peyton Manning's money.
Well, yeah, same difference.
so you want to buy the Grizzlies? Go ahead.
So it's Peyton Manning, and his wife probably has the same amount of shares as Justin Timberlake. Because I know Justin Timberlake has a small percentage of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So who are we saying with then? Kurt Warner of those
Yeah,
guys?
let's go. Kurt Warner. Give him the job.
Is
But
there
who would
anybody-
you put a partner with him if
Well,
that's the case?
Well, they already have it. Who's gonna? Booger McFarland is gonna be.
Wait, who did it?
They fired Sean McDonough. Has been fired. He's not doing it anymore. It was Sean McDonough and John Gruden.
It seems stupid to have not let McDonough do it. I know maybe he wasn't super well liked, but it seems stupid not to have some consistency and bring in some. Who's Booger? His name's not Booger.
Yes, Booger
Booger?
McFarland. He does college games.
Booger and Kurt Warner are the new Monday Night Football crew?
Booger. Booger McFarland.
No, I know how you spell Booger.
Well, obviously it's not his real
No,
name,
no.
Trevor. Jesus.
Nick,
But
Well, if that's the case, then fucking I say Booger McFarland and Jim Bob Cooter. I say make them the pair.
any possibility? Would you be shocked if they decide to pair? Let's say they pick him, and somehow pair him up with a woman. Oh, that's just a crazy idea.
No, of course it's not crazy. Me too. Anything can happen.
bro,
You know?
there's
In fact, let Jessica Mendoza do it. She has exactly as much experience playing football as she does playing baseball.
shots fired. They're saying actually that if Mark Jackson or Van Gundy gets a head coaching job,
That chick from Spurs.
that Doris Burke
I don't
No.
mind Doris Burke.
will slide into that position.
I don't mind Doris Burke. It's a long time ago that we talked about Doris Burke's dick. I like her.
Well, I'll just be open, and I've said this before. It's 100% sexist. I don't want to hear a female announcer when I'm watching a guy's sport. I
But
don't-
basketball's the same.
Wow.
yeah.
But
At least I'm honest about it, and I think most guys
God
are
damn,
the same way
Osama
as
bin
me.
Andy over here. Jesus Christ.
I love how Yoshi
Wow. Holy
shit.
Look, the specifics of it, like when you
I'm joking.
I know.
when you boil it down, obviously it's a completely different game that's played above the rim.
Yeah.
But it's the same game. It's the same rules. Like, at least she played fucking basketball.
That's a good point. But
Jessica Mendoza didn't play baseball. She didn't play ever. Ever. Not once. Never. Never. She threw it underhand. The ball's fucking bigger. The bat's different. The field's smaller. It's not the same fucking game.
It's probably not the same thing, but
I hate Jessica Mendoza.
who is the GM?
And I hope Bud Selig fucks her and gives her AIDS and cancer.
Jesus.
I'm gonna make sure we pull this clip to put
Yeah.
on YouTube. Thanks, appreciate that, EJ.
Who is the GM for Astro?
The Astros.
The dog from the
Astros.
Jetsons.
No. I forgot the S. Astros.
You forget a lot of S's. It's an Asian
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and that guy, econ or whatever basic, but a lot of it, he also had a background in playing baseball, fantasy, and whatnot. Look at the way he turned that franchise around.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I mean,
What are you saying, Yoshi?
maybe you have to think outside of the box and have different people. You don't. I'm not saying you should put them because she's
Are we
a
talking
woman.
about woman or just some random dude off the street? Oh, you're talking about Jessica Mendoza.
Dad and people will surprise you, man. You
Again,
never know.
but we've said this on the show before.
Yeah,
There's a difference
wait,
between
hold on. If Jessica Mendoza was some sort of Moneyball whiz, I don't give a fuck if she's in the GM's office.
Right.
But that has nothing to do
with color commentary.
yeah,
Right.
with being a color
That's a
commentator
different-
and like, oh, look at that fucking, slider from Syndergaard. If he had thrown it upside down when standing on his head, I can imagine how it would have looked. It's like no one gives a single fuck what you think. You never fucking put. They throw the ball underhand. I can't even. I can't. It gets me so angry every time I hear her voice.
But and Yoshi, the argument is, it's like if I suddenly was doing the Olympics and I was doing the color commentary for swimming.
yeah.
How would you feel about that?
I mean, it depends how good you are with it.
Yeah,
know.
but if I never swam at a professional,
I would prefer somebody have experience,
be-
but that
no,
doesn't
but
mean.
Think about it. It's even like think about it this way. Imagine if Andy was an English teacher. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, no. Imagine me being an English teacher.
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
English teacher, yes,
English teacher.
You would be amazing. All right, so there we have it. I think, yeah. We have difference of opinions on this.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
what?
not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying.
Well, let's get to Ask Yoshi, but before we do that,
Uh-huh.
I want to say, Prano, you're looking nice and fresh with that beard, and I know you've been keeping it clean and trimmed
So I do.
using Harry's razors.
Yeah, look at the top. Just hair razored yesterday.
If you look at my face in the camera, I need some Harry's razors.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to put on a fresh blade tomorrow.
Well, technically, you're gonna put on 5 fresh blades.
That's right. Because every single cartridge comes with 5 blades, including that top one. I see I got some nose hairs, and it's a risky move, but I'm gonna use that 5th blade up top to trim some nose hairs. Dirtballs. Harry's is giving a great deal right now. They've created a trial offer, and you can claim yours by going to harrys.com/dirty. If you don't love your shave, let Harry's know within 30 days. They'll give you a full refund. So they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Harry's is one of those great companies that we advertise for where it's like, why aren't you guys doing it? Are there people that are still going to, like, the Rite Aid and being like, hey, can you open that plastic case? You got to find somebody. When I go to my Rite Aid, there's one lady working. Now I got to get her coming from behind the counter. She's serving ice cream. She's doing all that. I got to get her to open up the plastic case.
You can get a $13 value trial set that comes with everything you need for a close, comfortable shave, that weighted ergonomic handle, 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, rich leather and shave gel, and a travel blade cover. Listeners, you can redeem this trial set at harrys.com/dirty. So make sure you go to redeem your offer and let them know that I sent you and that you're supporting our show. We always love the tweets when you guys support Harry's and support our sponsors.
And they have very funny online commercials too.
Oh, cool. You've seen their online commercials,
Yes.
Thanks for the help,
That
Yoshi.
The mom and dad. Yeah.
I'm sure they do. Well, guys, let's put on those headphones because, Yoshi, you know what time it is. It's that time.
Do I have headphones?
You should.
I think they're here somewhere. Hold on. First of all, we got to make sure Yoshi. First of all, Yoshi, take off your headphones before you pull this camera down.
Oh no, I grabbed the wrong ones. That's my bad.
Oh.
It's the time where
Oh, there we go.
we've put out the dirtball signal, the thus signal, and we've said you guys leave your calls for Yoshi.
Oh God, here we go.
So let's do it, Trevor. I think we're all good to go. Time for another segment of Ask Yoshi.
Oh.
Ask Yoshi.
Look at Ruther's face as he watches that.
Oh, I love that. I love doing intro songs.
A
Okay.
Japanese guy won the marathon, by the way.
I tweeted from Dirty
Yeah.
Sports for you. He looked like your brother. Does that make you proud as a Japanese man?
Interesting. Yeah, last year he ran a whole race in a panda outfit. I'm not joking.
Did he?
Yeah, for real.
For real?
Yeah,
Interesting. He also ran a race on.
on fire.
No, I was gonna say he also ran a race on U.S. Was it U.S. Airways? Which company? He was dragged up and down the aisle. I failed.
United
miserably.
Airlines.
I failed.
Yes.
I failed miserably. I failed miserably with that one. Take the L. Give me the L chain. That was
I just imagine him running the race in the panda suit. Well, like I imagine the earbuds just listening to panda the whole time. Panda.
All right, Trevor.
I still listen to Panda every day.
You got the calls right, buddy? All right. Fire up whichever one you want first.
Hey, it's Stanga. It's a long-time caller, first-time listener. Have a question for Ask Yoshi. More of a would you rather. Would you rather have your dog eat your homework or have your grandma eat your dog that ate your homework? I'll hang up and take my call off the air. Condoms are for homeless people on bikes. Stay dirty.
Would you rather have your dog? So did your grandma eat your dog?
That's a really tricky question because, I found out like 10, 15 years ago that my grandmother didn't know how to read and write. That's like a family secret that, I thought it was funny, but
Yeah.
they were really ashamed. But, yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I think they did eat dogs back in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a tough question. I mean,
You'd rather have your grandma eat a dog.
I mean, I don't rather, but they did it. So
Yeah.
what is there to...
You want to hear something crazy? We're talking
I don't
about
want her to eat black dogs. Come on.
like a black Labrador. You wouldn't want her to eat a black Labrador.
They're just...
Black Labrador dog lives matter.
Jesus.
That's the one Yoshi is offended by. He did a Hiroshima joke like 25 minutes ago. Twice, I believe.
Prano, or you did it last night. You guys know I host that show at a hostel in Santa Monica. And
Yeah.
It's all foreigners. So a couple weeks ago, we had a full row of young guys from Kazakhstan. And I said,
Was that Kazakhstan?
yeah, whatever, tomato.
But you were like, "Where are you guys from?" And they're like, "Kazakhstan." And you're like, "I'll go with it."
I actually said
I can't
that.
correct Andy because I would have probably said it that
Yeah.
way too.
I actually said it. That's what I was calling it all show. I'm surprised they didn't correct me. But anyway, I said to the kid, "Oh, what's the biggest difference here?" And he's like, "Well, what we eat."
Well, we call it Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
That's one of the major differences.
But he said they eat horses,
Oh, yeah.
and I thought he was fucking with me. And then he goes, "No," and then of course the whole room's like, "Oh," I'm like, "This is interesting." He goes, "Yeah, it's a normal thing to eat, and I come here and I can't eat horse." And it was just so funny. I'm like, "Does that bother you?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'd like to be able to eat horse." And I was like, "Dude, this feels like an episode of fucking Borat. Like,
Yeah.
what are we talking about here?" But he was genuinely annoyed that he couldn't eat
It is,
horse.
it is a weird like distinction that we do sometimes, where it's like you can eat cow, you can eat goat, but you can't eat a horse.
But that's a
Yeah.
good point. The Dothraki eat the horse.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones reference from my GOT.
That's right. I remember. You watched the whole fucking thing listen the week, right?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, thank God we can't eat horse because I like watching Shannon Sharp every morning.
All right, let's cue
Hey,
up.
Skip, give me a carrot and a sugar cube, Skip.
Thanks for the question, whoever
Come on,
asked.
Skip.
But it was,
I
come
like
on.
Shannon Sharp a lot, by the way.
I do too.
I really do like.
Doesn't change the fact that he looks and talks like a horse.
Yeah.
Is he a Hall of Fame? A Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he is in the Hall
He
of
is.
Fame.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
You don't watch him enough. He mentions it every morning. Where's your gold jacket, Skip? Where's your sugar cube, Skip?
Hey, what's up?
No, go for it, Trevor.
Charlie from Minnesota here. So your infamous Venice Beach homeless incident had me wondering about your other experiences with the homeless. Like, what are the homeless like in other parts of the world, or is there somewhere you've been where it's even crazier than Venice? Also, have you had any other incidents with the homeless? Stay dirty, guys.
2002, I was in southern France, I think Nice, and was waiting for transfer to another train from there to Barcelona. And I don't know, this is like late night, 11 to midnight, 1 o'clock, whatever it is. So I got thirsty, so I walked away from the station and was working to a grocery store, one of their convenience stores, you know. And the guy started following me, and I don't know what the fuck he's saying. I don't speak French. So he might have been like, hey, are you lost, whatever. I don't know, but the fucker's following me.
I love that you just turned into a Valley girl there. I don't know.
No. So I went to the shop. I had a bag, multiple bags, and filled up with cans of soda drinks. Walked out of there, and he came so close. I think he might have put a hand on his shoulder. I turned and just beat him over the head with the bag because I don't want to be a victim. So I beat the shit out of him. I just ran screaming like a fucking bitch and went back to the station, got on the train. I don't know, but I freaked out.
Wait a second. So you beat the shit.
That wasn't very nice of you.
Yeah.
Finally,
he was
motherfuckers.
He was big. I mean, he looked like homeless. I don't know. I just panicked. So like, I'm not gonna be fucking victim here. So
you beat the shit out of him with your sodas. The bigger question is, did you drink the sodas after you beat the shit out of him?
After I removed the blood, yes, I did.
So you don't know what happened to that guy.
I don't know, but my gut feeling was he was gonna rob me or do something weird. So yeah.
Well, Charlie also brings up an interesting point. You know, you've traveled the world. Not only are you a expert at
I'm not an expert.
call girls, it seems like you're an expert in the homeless vagrants that are everywhere. Where would you say are some of the worst cities for homeless? And where would you rank Venice Beach and Los Angeles?
I mean, LA probably have to be top 1 or 2.
It's that bad.
It's pretty fucking awful, dude. I mean, look like I don't know why they're filming Walking Dead in Atlanta when they could do in downtown LA.
I didn't actually catch a word of that, but I'm gonna go with
it. Andy, translate for me. Anyway, but other homeless in Europe,
Besides Nice,
Yeah.
another guy that you killed.
Yeah.
generally they're very.
Are there other
they ask
countries
for
where
help.
you didn't go Batman and like rid the country of homeless people, one can at a time?
I don't recall having other than that. I don't remember other incidents. I was shocked, Chinatown, New York City, how many Asian homeless people. That is weird to me. That's
Asian homeless.
yeah, that is just absolutely weird. They have to be suffering from mental illness because you have family members.
Not so mental illness that they don't know the 3 blocks that they're supposed to live in.
But there was a lot of them, and I saw one Asian guy taking shit in fucking Chinatown, New York City, in the middle of the street. That is really weird. But I'm sure if I've gone to China or places like that, I'm sure they're very aggressive. But
It's funny because
Japanese homeless people are very polite, absolutely polite. You know,
Prano and I see someone shitting in Venice probably every day. Prano,
I mean,
it's pretty frequent.
fairly regularly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen my fair amount of homeless men just taking a dump in the middle of the boardwalk. All right, we got any more? Ask Yoshis?
they're very polite questions.
Hey, Dirty Sports. It's me, Griffin, the Auburn Dirtball, calling in for the first time in a while. But my question for Yoshi is, whatever happened to that New Zealand girl he brought on the first episode he was back in the day? Whatever happened to her? And also, I'm going to plug real quick. I'm going to be having my draft show next Thursday for the draft with me and a few of my friends. And I'm going to, for every draft pick I get wrong, I'm going to take a shot. So I'm going to put that on my Twitter and Periscope. And condoms are for that new Russell Wilson quarterback show. It's fucking trash.
Wait, where am I just?
What did he say about Russell Wilson?
Some quarterback shows trash. But I'm interested in this. This is sort of the new Kobe Bryant. Should I just search Griffin drunk draft show? Like, where do I find this?
He said on Periscope and Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
You know Griffin. He's the Auburn dirtball.
Griffin-
Griffin Glover, who everyone says it's not Griffin Lover, it's Griffin Glover.
Okay, Griffin Glover. Well, I mean, how am I'm supposed to put that together?
He's got a good voice, by the way.
It's at Griffin Glover.
Okay.
You know him with the goatee.
Yes, I know Griffin Glover. I didn't necessarily know that, though. Like, I was supposed to know that that's Griffin. Like, come on, Griffin, be better at your plugs. Where we find you? At Griffin Glover. So he's gonna do a shot, and he's already got crying Russell Wilson. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna listen.
I think he did it last year too. Every time he's wrong on an NFL draft, he does a shot.
Which is, I mean, what do they do? The first round one night, and then they do round 2 the second night, and then they do the rest over the weekend, right?
Yeah. So
The most you could get wrong is 30, and the draft takes forever.
There's 32 teams in the NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So yeah, that takes 3 hours.
yeah.
It's still a lot. If you did 32 shots in 3 hours,
Ooh, that is a lot.
It's not a record or anything, but
but we have to answer his question. Do you remember when we used
What
to
was
be
his
with
question?
Sideshow Network?
oh yeah, I remember the chick Yoshi brought. You brought a fucking smoke show.
You brought this New Zealand girl,
Hosanna. yeah.
Hosanna.
Hosanna.
She is working for some hotshot internet startup in LA. I'm supposed to see her this week, but I've been busy. I don't have a car, so it was her birthday, April 15th. Happy birthday, Hosanna.
I'm sure she's listening. So you guys are still friends?
Yeah, but she just moved back from New York, and I've been on a road. I mean, either for comedy or for that drug stuff,
Was she ever a porn girl? Is that how you know her?
No, she was a finalist in New Zealand's Next Top Model the first season. She was second place.
But how did you hook up with her?
She was a friend of Aiko Tanaka.
Oh, that's right. I remember
Yeah,
from the show.
so she
Yeah.
knew, she also knew Keisha.
Look at Benny the Jet just staring over here like, what the fuck is happening?
She was also a friend of Keisha Castle Hughes, the girl from the Whale Rider, and she was also in.
Wait,
Game
I
of,
always get confused.
she was she was in Game of Thrones. She's the oldest sand snake with a spear.
Wait. What? I mean, I watched 68 episodes, and
She
Remember the-
Hosanna's friend with her.
The
They're
three-
both from
the
New
three
Zealand.
girls who were like little
Sand snakes?
fucking- Yeah, remember the sand snakes? The three like angry, violent girls.
One
from
was a
fucking-
whip, one was a poison sword, other one with a spear.
I gotcha.
Yeah, Keisha is the one with the spear. Anyway, she's friend with Hosanna. Yeah.
Yoshi's circle is fascinating.
Yeah.
From New Zealand supermodels to Russell Peters.
What are you talking about? Joe's buddy with fucking the dynasty in New York City. Come on, that's more impressive in my opinion.
No, I disagree. I think yours is more. I think you have the weirder bunch.
But you,
I mean, it is weird,
but
but
Yoshi, you're like origami. Every time we unwrap you,
What?
we just find something new. There's so much to you, Yoshi. You're a fascinating cat.
whenever I unwrap, you see origami. You see what? Cocaine.
My friends, by the way, I have some college buddies who are obsessed with you, Yoshi.
Why?
They just think they love when you do the show. I texted them tonight. I texted them our text exchange. And my buddy's from Toronto.
I gotta say, you guys are toe to toe with as far as the people who follow me in podcasts and stuff. You guys tie with your mom's house fans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're really fucking popular. But I love sports, man. I really appreciate you guys put me on because most of my Asian friends are just they don't give a shit about. I don't know. They don't give a fuck about sports, and I love talking about sports, but I have no one to talk to.
You know what I'm going to bring back? I'm going to reintroduce. We made that amazing Dirty for Dirty. Do you remember that this summer?
Oh yeah.
And you had the line that, English is not the language of Americans. It's sports.
Yes, the sense of competition and why this country's so great. Because we're not afraid of losing. You know what I mean?
You
And,
love the United States, don't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, of course, my people bombed Pearl Harbor. They were winning the first quarter, but who won in the fourth quarter? Halftime, America. You know what I mean? America, in halftime, they get their shit right every fucking time. Japan pulled onside kick and scored touchdown. Think they're gonna win it, but I'm sorry, but stupid motherfuckers. I'm from there too, but they're just they're going knowing they're gonna lose. You know what I mean? The whole season they play like let's just go for draft pick and they sneak in playoff, and you think they're gonna beat the team. I'm sorry, but that's not gonna happen. America always bounce back. Even with all this Russian shit that's going on, I'm sorry, Russian people. I love Russian people, but they're doing it all wrong. We're always gonna beat them, whether it's Chinese or North Korea or whatnot. Sorry, but something about this country, we always fuck up in first quarter, but we always come back. You know what I mean? We always do. I don't sign with a losing team. You know what I mean? I was a free agent. I fucking signed here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get Nick to cue up some American music and a flag in the background of Yoshi saying all this.
I'm sorry, but too many people born in this country, they don't appreciate this country, man. I mean, it's really sad, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And even all these fucking liberal people that crying about Trump and stuff, but I'm sorry, but I mean, the guy's nut, but America is such a strong country, and our institution is so great. He can't. He could do all the damage he tried to do 24/7, 365 days for the next 2.5 years. Couldn't even touch the country. That's how strong it is. Sorry, I mean,
Who are you apologizing to?
I'm just saying.
He's like, sorry, all the communist listeners of the
Yeah.
Dirty Sports Podcast.
they're going to lose.
Sorry, all you
yeah.
people who listen to a sports show about American sports, but really want to watch the country burn.
Our institution.
I'm probably the only person you got to apologize to.
I was gonna say Prano's
Yeah.
the guy on your left is the one who doesn't appreciate America.
Yeah.
Right?
Our
Prano?
Our institution is
We're the
like
18-1 Patriots. We lost to
no,
Vietnam.
but I'm glad you said that. Our institution is just like Bill Belichick. We'll figure out and always at the end, unlike the last Super Bowl, but we always sneak at the end and we're gonna win it.
Yeah, every once in a while we get beat, right?
But everybody think Russia's doing well and China's doing well, but
No,
sorry,
right?
their institution are shit. They might have a strong leader now, but eventually they will die, and our institution is gonna beat them every time. So there.
Well, there's no other way to wrap up the show than that pro-America.
I was so prepared for. I saw on the rundown you had shade at Trevor, shade at Prano, a classic Ruther call log of all the shade at everybody but you. What happened? I was so excited to see people throwing shade at Trev.
Can we get to that next episode?
Sure, yeah,
We're
sure.
2 hours. Right
I don't know. I don't know if they're timely. If the shade at me is a topical shade.
But I'm glad the show's doing well because last time I was here,
It wasn't. It was dying on
No,
the
no,
vine.
no. In the first few times, you didn't have an intern. Then a couple shows back, you have one. Now you have two, and I could tell the show's doing really, really well. And your fans, although a little crazy, when I meet them, they're very, very nice. You know.
When you beat them?
No, when I meet them.
Oh, I was like, well, yeah.
Jesus.
Yes, when he beats our homeless fan over the head with a fucking 12-pack of soda.
So,
Well, Yoshi, plug your Twitter and plug anything you got going on. I know you got Frano. That's
here we go.
That's why we're not doing the. We'll do those calls next episode because Yoshi's plugs are gonna last 20 more minutes.
okay, May 9th, Denmark. Warburg Comedy Club, 8 p.m., May 9th. I'll be there with a guy named Jimmy Earl. We'll be doing the show. And after the show, I'll be selling Illegal Magazine because that's our headquarters. May 19th, I'll be in London. I'm going to watch Killer Joe at the West End. But mainly, May 19th in London because the royal wedding on May 19th. I'm going to be there. Historical events, I have to be there, and I might be.
You're not going to. You're just gonna be in London for the royal wedding.
It's May 19th, of course.
You're like, I'm Jeremy Lin's brother. Like, we don't give a fuck. You can't come into the palace.
I have to be there. The chick she's Prince Harry's married, she's from Southern California, and her dad worked on Married with Children.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so she learned all the fucking fucked up politics in the household and married this guy. This is great. Victory for America right there. Another victory. We beat all those blue-blooded bitches in England, and he married American. This kind of shit really makes me happy. You know, I'm all for American civilization. Fuck you guys for not appreciating America. Okay, so
I appreciate it, Yoshi. I'm just letting you talk.
and I'm really fucked. I have one-way ticket to Europe. I don't know how they're going to get back. So if somebody, because I didn't get my money for the Super Bowl, I'm not going to get married for the fucking insurance. So if anyone want to donate money to my PayPal account, Yoshi,
guys, please don't. I'd like Yoshi to. I just want. I mean, it's a way better story if you can't get back.
oh thanks.
No, we need.
But if
Yoshi.
you want to donate, yoshididn't@gmail.com at PayPal.
Wait, what is it? Yoshi
Didn't
didn't.
@gmail.com. That was my podcast, Yoshi Didn't podcast. So So if you want to donate money, that's the reason I went to Russell's place, hoping that he could buy me a return ticket. I fucking missed the guy because I have to do this show. I literally missed him by a minute. So I don't know
Can't
how.
you just text him and be like, "Yo, can you take me?"
But he get thousands of men. Sometimes he doesn't even get to see him. So it's easier if I see him in person. So I don't know how I'm gonna come back in fucking next month. So anyway, donate.
I think we have some very sweet and kind dirtballs. You'll probably get some donations.
Or if somebody have a one-way ticket back, that's even better.
Stand by. You can be some guy's cousin, right? I just picturing some like white dirtball from Alabama be like, yeah, this guy Yoshi's my cousin. Can my dad works for American Airlines. Can he get the one-way ticket back?
Give me a ticket with United. I don't care if they try to drag me out of there. Just one-way ticket from London on 21st of May. I don't know how I'm gonna get back. I don't have the money right now.
Do you know the phrase "beggars can't be choosers"?
Yeah.
You have it's like a business class flight on the 21st of May, preferably a morning flight, exit row if possible.
I want to give a quick birthday shout out to one of the dirtballs.
Okay.
I want to give a shout out to Austin Anhorn. Happy birthday, buddy. Your buddy Justin Guthrie set this up, so thank Justin. Yoshi, can you give Austin a birthday shout out? Maybe he'll donate for you.
Happy birthday, Austin. Help me. Don't make me run over another fucking homeless, all right?
Frano, what do you
I already know I'm going to get in trouble for that one. There's
all right.
no way they interview me for no reason. Or everything's okay once you talk to them. No fucking way. God damn it.
At Picture Life on Twitter, Joe Prano on Instagram, joeprano.com for shows. I got San Francisco and Oakland in May, Tahoe after that. New York, New Jersey, Stress Factory is official at the end of June. I'll be at the Stress Factory in New Jersey the 28th to the 1st. I just got booked for a resort in Washington, Lake Chelan.
I'll be there.
Chelan?
Yeah.
You'll be there too?
No. Well, is that the Eddie F thing?
Yeah.
Yes,
Will
I'll
you
be
do
there.
that 4th of July?
Yes.
Same weekend?
Yes.
Oh, my God. So come see me
Oh,
and
wait.
Yoshi.
No. Isn't this the second week of July?
No, I'm there the first week.
Oh, never mind. No.
Fuck. That was going to be something. Oh, you're going to be at Eddie's Bingo Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
We'll both be at Bingo Fest in Monroe, California in July, second week of July. San Diego, Chicago, the Dirtball meetup in Chicago in September, all on joeprano.com. I'm working out the title of it, maybe Punchlines and Pitch Counts, my summer tour and baseball ballpark tour. So check out joeprano.com. Come see me at a baseball game with me.
Sorry, I have a show Saturday in Arizona in Glendale called the Off the Cuff Club this Saturday, 8 p.m. But one last thing. I cannot talk about the detail, but I'm working on the project. It's a legit, and I'm helping someone with a huge name regarding pornography. It'll be out October of this year. But
Seinfeld.
No. This is a
What's the deal with stepmom porn? Who wants to fuck their mother?
no. The only thing I could say is it will vindicate when I got fired. This thing will help me tremendously. No, it will be a huge thing.
What'd you get fired from?
Evil Angel.
The porn company.
Porn company.
Okay.
So I've been traveling back and forth with New York with this project, and I'm going to Europe again for it. So, but I'll come out on the show and tell you guys.
Well, we would love to have you back.
It's pretty dark.
You're dark, and that's why we love you. The one and only Yoshi.
You're dark.
Oh, and last one. Is there any way I could go
Wrap up your prugs already, would you?
Is there any chance we could watch the game Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh Steelers? I really want to watch that game. It was so violent last year. I don't even give a fuck for Super Bowl. That game was so fucking violent. Wasn't somebody crippled in that
It
game?
was the Monday Night Football game. That's when Shazier got
Oh, I want to
hurt.
see that game this year.
So wait, you want
I want to go in Cincinnati and watch them play Pittsburgh Steelers.
You want to go into Cincinnati?
Oh, yes.
Can you imagine me bringing Yoshi to my parents'
Oh,
house?
my God.
Prano?
Yes! I'll bring a hooker for your dad.
My mom would love that. Okay.
It's what? It's a hooker. It's what?
Dad, Yoshi brought you a hooker. It's a gift. Yoshi, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
It'd be like, so you're a call girl. Right over there, you see those lights? That's Chris Collinsworth's house.
Guys, you can go see all our stuff at dirtysports.com. Drop us an iTunes review. Tell us how much you love Yoshi. It's been a pleasure. Thanks as always, Yoshi.
Thanks, guys.
Fun stuff. Give Yoshi your love. Yoshi Obayashi on
Say it wrong one more time.
Yoshi Obayashi.
Obayashi.
Abayashi? Obayashi? I don't know. Close enough. Guys, it's fun.
Thanks, guys.
Enjoy your weekend, and don't forget, condoms are for pussies.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.